Niggas, I think you're gonna get the first of it, where I really tell people that shit's about to change around here.
Let's fucking go. I want to hear all about it.
Yeah, it's about to be a different type of direction for me. I've had severe fucking like crippling creative block recently.
Happens to the rest of us, I think.
Well, yeah, and I go through it. I'm coming out of it because I do the things that I always do, which is like, I think the kids call it touching grass. You know, I don't like using non-generational and regional slang. So there's an old Tupac quote that I've accidentally lived by. He's talking about how these niggas is all fake and, you know, Hollywood, and he's like, the reason that's not him is because he always maintained the ability to slip himself back into neutral. And and sometimes the clutch gets stuck, but you gotta get yourself back into neutral. When I stop being able to recognize the nigga that looks at me when I brush my teeth, that's a problem. And I don't think people stop being distracted enough to ever really notice that. Like, you're an exceptionally grounded person. Like,
You're not the first person to tell me that, actually. But...
Well, it stands out here because it's a freak show. In a room full of literally, like, you're literally at the drag runway, nigga, and you have a white t-shirt and jeans. Everyone's, hey, what's up, magnetism? It's like, hey, what's going on? Extasyon. And he's like, I'm feeling good. With big boas and shit on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas got big boas, and they're with a gold, you know, with like a gold space sleeve sprocket dress.
Yeah, people do be doing the most out here.
7-inch platform shoes, right? And niggas is doing crazy shit and doing weird walks. Nigga got an umbrella, and it's like the nigga from the Batman show, and with the pinwheel on it, trying to hypnotize niggas, and you're standing there with a white t-shirt and blue jeans. Hey everybody, what's going on? Well, aren't you just a sobering cup of water? Yeah, you are, nigga. You fucking are. You really fucking are.
I don't know, man. I'm just out here learning and enjoying the space. You know, it's entertaining. All that stuff you just mentioned.
I would love to go kill a hooker once a year or some shit like that.
No.
Symptoms installed that may affect the quality of your call. What extensions? Okay. I think the next thing I gotta do is buy a nice camera.
Yeah, solid camera can help. Boom man in the building. GM.
What the fuck is
All
that?
right. Going live.
What the fuck is weird? What? Where's he at?
In the Twitch chat. Let's go.
I don't see anything.
You have to jump on the Twitch.
Well, despite the fact that sounds terrible. I don't think that I'm doing anything like that. And I don't know what he's doing there. And I don't, you know what? I'll go a step further. I don't like the fact that you're putting this where I don't know quite where we are. I don't like being unknowing.
We're in some random corner of the metaverse, Kane. Don't worry about it.
Good morning. In the words of a very pretty young lady.
All right, don't interrupt my intro, Kane. Don't interrupt my intro.
All right, go ahead.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're joining us from around the world. Welcome to Web3 Warriors, episode 105, featuring Kane Mayfield, an amazing hip-hop artist, blockchain music innovator, and the creator of a new Dust album, which can be found on the Bitcoin blockchain. Welcome, Kane. How are you doing today? Thanks for joining.
Well, in the words of a very delectable young lady who I met in 1998, I'm sorry, 99, I'm confused. I don't know where we are, and I feel like you know where we are, and I don't care. It's street shit. I'm in the car already, so if you want to rob a bank, we rob a bank.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, I don't plan on going to jail tonight.
You're good.
So, yeah.
You're in safe hands. No worries. We're just hanging out. We're hanging out in the Web3 Warriors corner of the metaverse. You know, if you go to the Voxels metaverse and type in Web3 Warriors HQ, that's where we're at right now, the headquarters in the Voxels metaverse. But we're also Twitch streaming live on twitch.tv/Web3 Warriors, as well as on YouTube at the Web3 Warriors channel. So we're streaming into different corners of the metaverse here. I want to thank anybody who's joining us on the live feed. Welcome to Web3 Warriors. I'm your host, David Karoma, go by Chrome in the metaverse. And today we're going to be looking at the topic that we like to talk about a lot on this show, which is the creator economy on the blockchain, and specifically music artists being able to use NFTs and blockchain technology to really empower themselves, create new avenues of revenue and new avenues of support for their collectors and their supporters, and really just taking this blockchain technology to a new level and focusing on the real value that blockchain brings to creators and artists and musicians specifically. So today we're going to be talking to Kane really about how kind of music culture is adapting to blockchain, if it is, and how blockchain is really empowering musical artists. You know, we've looked at the concept of being able to use an NFT attached to your music for like VIP access to a show, or digital collectibles that you send out to only those people who collect your NFTs, as I believe Kane has done as well. So we'll talk about that a little bit. And of course, looking at the concept of loyalty perks in the NFT space, and the idea that your real tried and true fans who take the initiative to jump on the blockchain, buy your work on the blockchain, can then have additional perks, whether that's being airdropped different music or artwork, or having actual access both in the metaverse or in real life at different events that are attached to these different NFTs. So that's just some of the utility that we've talked about when looking at music in the NFT and blockchain space. And I really think we have no better guest than Kane to bring on to really talk about how he's using the technology to really kind of change the way that he's connecting with his fans and his collectors, and most importantly, you know, bringing new value to the overall Web3 music space, as far as I can see. So with that, welcome back, Kane. I'm really grateful for you to be on the show again. As always, if anyone from the chat has any questions or comments or feedback for myself or Kane, feel free to chime in. We do sometimes give away free NFTs for the most thought-provoking questions, so I'll throw that out there. But with that, Kane, I'd love for you to just give a little bit of a brief background for anyone who's maybe not familiar with you, maybe missed our last interview that we had a while back with Pork Chop as well. But yeah, just share a little bit about your background as a music artist, as well as what you're doing in Web3. Thanks for joining.
I will. First, let me just say, I think your show is going to be successful. I'll tell you why. The first time I was so busy harassing Pork Chop about his police face and his very erotic ponytail that I forgot to stare at you, and I did not notice exactly how much fucking smiling you do, which generally as a 90s person I don't like that, but I see why it's working for you. And you have an absurd habit of just batting your fucking eyelashes all about while you're talking, and I'm sure the Canadian missus is up there They go hog wild over it. And then your big eyebrows, they look like an eagle flying away into the sunset, which an American eagle, which as a Canadian, I feel as though you are appropriating. And I'm not quite sure if there's a solution to that.
Up here too, you know, we got lots of eagles, beautiful.
Yeah, but they're not American eagles. They're not American eagles. They're Canadian eagles, which is obviously of a lesser bird. The American eagle is fueled by Dorito and gunpowder. It's a wonderful bird. It was just 4th of July, goddamn it. We're getting crazy up here.
Yeah, happy 4th of July. We had the 1st of July. I don't know if you're aware that Canada Day is the 1st of July. I know.
That's not a real thing. Rick Ross is getting jumped up there and fucking you're attacking fat black people. Makes me very upset. Mad N-word crazy. I'm sorry. I'm posting the thingy on my Facebook.
Oh, so that Facebook. People can, nice.
Listen, I still like Facebook.
Yeah.
And that goes into who I am. I'm a failed struggle rapper. And believe me, nigga, we still on Facebook because my fucking 12 fans are still on Facebook. And they're on there doing racisms. And like that's why I like Shane Gillis. He makes perfect sense to me. He's like, so that's people who shouldn't be on social media, that's my core audience. People who've lost their Facebook and Instagram due to just how they are. It's like, and it's polar opposites because I'm friends with every kind of people. Right. So it's like, back the police like this if you're not gay. It's like, I'm friends with that guy.
Yeah.
And then the other guy is just like, white people have a problem with everything. Like this, if you haven't emancipated yourself from the slave mind, you won't like this. And I try to convince those two guys, if they could just sit down at a bar together and get over their initial 15 minutes, they're gonna find the best friend in each other. And and neither one of them believe me. But I'm like,
it's true. I agree with that.
A guy from Appalachia who makes his own liquor and a crack dealer from the Bronx have so much in common. Neither one are very keen on police. Neither one have a very modern view towards women. Like barbaric on both sides. This is awful. God awful. Lightspeed, black belt awful. And I just feel like as the world progresses, and I know that people like me, culturally and musically, we're dinosaurs. We're going to die soon. I'm just trying to enjoy the last little bit of sunshine on my face before the comet hits. And for me, that's Web3. And at this point, it's been years. And at this point, I've lost friends over it. And at this point, the cost is already, built in. Like, I've already paid so much that it doesn't make sense to stop. But I was this guy. It's funny because I got this right here. I was this guy.
The Return of Rap debut album. What year was that?
2015.
Okay.
This was for the show. This was what we passed out at the one-man show I did.
So
and
you've been grinding at it for a minute. You say struggle rapper. I think you were the first person. You were the first person I ever heard say struggle rapper, and I know a couple struggle rappers myself, so I definitely empathize for that. But I've never heard that.
I own it because when they called us that, it wasn't flattering. It's like SoundCloud rapper. SoundCloud rapper became a thing, and then they have their own festivals and Rolling Loud and yada yada. But at first, SoundCloud rapper was a disparaging term. It's the N-word of music. And it's a way of saying that you're not serious. This is a high-end hobby. It's going nowhere, and you're fucking delusional. And I want to be real clear. It's going nowhere, and you're fucking delusional. And those two things, if you're a logical person, which a lot of artists, creatives are not wholesale, that should haunt you. The specter of your potential delusion should at least be present in the room. My nigga, I could be sitting in a very ornate setting talking to you a very prominent Destro-like figure from Canada. You know, I could be doing this, or I could be in a fucking psych ward in a goddamn straitjacket, muttering to myself in the corner. I really don't know. And our perception is all just that. It's our perception. How do you know that this is all what you think it is, or everything is real? How do you know? Well, you need external validation. Yeah, 100%. Some of my heroes said nice things to me. Yeah, I made a little bit of money a couple of times. Yeah, I've done a good show, and I know because the audience, Baltimore is one of the best places and the worst places simultaneously. They're not going to give you anything you don't deserve. In fact, they're not going to give you what you deserve. So if you are a $3 nigga, be prepared to get $1.25, and you better act fucking grateful. And that's Baltimore. That's
How
just
long
the way.
Were you doing it in Baltimore for? Because you're in Florida now, right? And you're from New York.
Well, now I'm in Diet, Florida, but I was in Baltimore doing music since 2007-8.
Okay.
And 2008 when we signed to Mania, and I consider that the beginning for me. Because I wasn't a real musician prior to that. I wasn't anything to be taken seriously prior to that. I don't even think that I should be taken seriously until maybe 2012, 13. Because I was still...
Takes time to build that catalog, build that reputation up.
Well, no, it takes time to get good. It takes time for mindset. It takes time for a lot of the things to be real. It took them the first few years to even convince me I was a rapper. We're doing show. We're on tour. We're going on tour. We're hitting colleges. We're performing lots of different places and doing stuff that a lot of my friends locally never did for years before me have never done. And I'm still like, yeah, right, sure. I'm a rapper. I didn't believe it.
Imposter syndrome, right? Is that what they call that?
No, just my feet are so firmly planted in reality. To be a functioning artist, you have to live a tiny bit delusionally. You have to live aspirationally. You can't just live in the what you can see. If you don't believe in the ethereal, you're never gonna make it. It's a bold, crazy, blasphemous, godless man who looks at the moon and says, I can put my fucking feet on that, bro, if I want to. That's a crazy nigga. That transcends dreamer. That's a nigga that's you can't fear God a little bit. You have to be a little bit like the niggas that he don't like to be like, yo, no, I'm serious. Look at the sky. I bet I can fucking put myself there if I want to. I can swim through that. Yo, what? I can fly to the birds. No, you can't. I'll go where there's no air. How? I don't know. I'll build a fucking rocket ship or something. And they do.
That's kind of crypto in a nutshell, right? Going to the moon. That's what it's all about.
We all look at the stars.
But it's all a dream, you know?
But we all look at the stars. How many of us can put ourselves there?
100%. And your ambition, I think, inspires many. And, I think there's a lot to be said about building towards something, but not quite knowing exactly what it is you're building towards, but being, confident and passionate about, what it is you're putting out there. So with that, let's hear about your latest project. Let's talk about Dust. Let's talk about what you have going on the blockchain. Tell us about Dust. And the website is beautiful, by the way. I really like it. I was playing through the tracks again recently. I have to say, I think my favorite is Clear, but there's like so many dope tracks on there. Just congratulations all around. But yeah, tell us about Dust.
That website's about to get a major revamp.
Okay.
By the way, Boo Man, if you are listening, I saw that sad shit you posted on Facebook with your weird lump of diabetic slush, and it's disgusting. And I want you to know that I'm horrified by it, and I'm gonna have a stern talk with you after this. The Dust is everything I just now said wrapped into an album concept. And when I say wrapped into an album concept, I mean literally it's wrapped into an album concept. So to make it very simple, if you have $1 in Bitcoin and you spend it on a widget or a plumbus or whatever you spend money on, and let's just say you spent 85 cents on that. 10-cent transaction fee, you spent 95 cents. That will go through. Your wallet will clear that transaction because it has to check to make sure you have the money. Mm-hmm. It will clear, but you have 5 cents left. The problem with having 5 cents left, if there's a 10-cent transaction fee, 5 cents can't move. The cost of doing anything, buying something, selling something, sending it for free, anything with the blockchain costs 10 cents. You only have 5. You are not tall enough to ride this ride. So the 5 cents is stuck.
Okay.
Unless you send more money or the price of Bitcoin shoots up or the fees go down, your 5 cents can't move. In the Bitcoin world, that's called dust. Gotcha. The 5 cents is a thing of value. It's Bitcoin. It's sound money. It is still Bitcoin.
Some sats. It's still some sats, right?
It's still fucking. Listen, if Bitcoin shoots up to $1 million, you're gonna be happy you had that 5 cents. But the cost of extracting the value is more than it is currently, and in the Bitcoin world, that's called dust.
Yeah,
and
I've
the
had
analogy
my Bitcoin
that I
stuck
made,
once on that.
Say again?
I said I had my Bitcoin stuck on that once. The friend who was sending Bitcoin didn't want to pay a higher gas, and it got stuck for like a couple days until the
nigga. During some of them fucking ordinals knife fights.
Yeah, they were killing it. It was horrible.
Yo, but remember, I hang out on Counterparty.
Right.
So everything we know, and I hate that. I think that sometimes people accuse me of like, I don't want to use non-generational or non-regional slang, but they accuse me of glazing, which I've come to realize is sucking some dick, and I just think it's a terrible thing to accuse people of, unless they're into that. But glazing Counterparty, and I'm not. I think that a lot of times we mock the people who paved the roads we drive down. Not a thank you, and don't even give them the common courtesy of saying that they paved the roads. These roads were manifest destiny. These roads were natural selection or whatever people be thinking. But a lot of the things we think started there. So sending a higher fee for the gas, that's a lot of them guys, man. Like they were early adopters experimenting with Bitcoin. So like shit getting stuck for months, because you tried to be an El Cheapo.
Right.
Happens.
That happens, eh?
So,
wild.
But yeah, so that the point of dust is it's a thing of value, but the cost of extracting its value is too high. And the analogy that I made is that in the music business, or to the music business, the traditional music world, I'm dust. Not just me, because that would be self-centered, but guys like me. And for those people who don't know, there's 10,000 guys like me.
No doubt.
Probably more, but 10,000 guys like me. And a lot of my friends here, and you've heard them, Dave, because you've been around.
Yeah.
They get upset when I don't embrace my own exceptionalism. Because a lot of them niggas is delusional too. Let's be very clear. A lot of them niggas is also delusional. Like, don't say that. You're I'm not special. And again, just because a lot of people never tried, don't mean I'm gonna lie or live a lie or let you tell me a lie and not correct you. I've been around better MCs than me, a lot, way better. I'm a middle tier guy. I'm good enough to be considered good. That's a big deal. That's not a lot of people in the world. That's a small handful of people. Sure. I rap proficiently enough for the people who rap amazing to go, hey man, you're pretty good. And that's fucking big. That's so, nigga, Elzai was like, hey man, you're pretty good. And I was like, well, I am. Thank you, Mr. Zai. I don't know what to call him. I don't want to say Mr. Elzai. That just seems abnormally formal. But fucking, the 10,000 guys like me, you've never heard of them. And the reason you've never heard of us is because we're fucking dust. We're dust, bro. The top 200-300, maybe you've heard of some of them, Like you've heard of Core Mega.
Right.
You've heard of like Boot Camp. You know, you've Rock from Helter Skelter, Smith and Wesson. You've heard from Planet Asia and these really amazing guys. But my high school don't graduate niggas. I say that in the most respectful way possible. My high school niggas don't graduate. There's no moving on. There's nowhere for them to go. You're not going to be a top 40 artist. So, nigga, this is it. And that's not to disparage, but it's definitely true. So the guy that you're competing against, he's not giving you his spot. No one ages out. So if this is a high school, they're just super duper seniors. Cormega is still, he shows up for one class a day, wood shop, and you're not building a better birdhouse than him. This shit has rain gutters and all. Like he's been building the same birdhouse forever. You're not gonna go to home economics and make a better cake than Planet Asia. This nigga's just, all he does is make cake. The teacher don't even talk to him. He just comes in and makes a 15-layer wedding cake and then looks at it and laughs because he's incredible. And you're sitting there mixing your batter like, oh man, that's why you hear the narrative, man, these old niggas need to retire. because they're in your way.
Right.
You're saying, hey man, you had your time. Give me my shot. And they go, fuck you, take it in blood.
Yeah,
and that's what they should say. That's what they should say.
Says, I'm eating over here, right?
Because in their world, they're still fighting to be on the big stage. Which a lot of them just go, man, fuck the big stage, because it's not, it ain't a better life.
Yeah, and you can carve out your own following, right? And carve out your own fan base, and as long as you have people showing up at your shows and you're plugging away, right? It's
that's why this Kendrick Lamar Drake thing was such a big deal.
Right.
It was the dust versus the main stage. Kendrick is a main stage artist, but he represents the dust.
Okay.
And that's why he stabbed that nigga in the heart like a fucking vampire.
He really did.
And he staked the shit out of him. And everyone, and the people who don't know any better are like, I don't understand how he's losing. And we're going, because that nigga's a Van Helsing. You don't understand. We kill niggas like that. They would never come down here because they can't. You're going to have a who could rap better competition with a nigga like him? Are you crazy? We don't do that.
Right.
Even though he's way up there, he's still a rapidy rap nigga. So if you're not, but the odds of becoming and this is where I go back to the album, the odds of becoming a Kendrick Lamar, it's infinitesimal.
Yeah. You get the kudos from Dre and the
it's
kings
not gonna happen.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg and those guys help put on.
That ain't gonna be your life.
Yeah,
you'll die. He's special. Maybe he's right. Maybe he is from the cosmos or whatever he be saying with the universe or whatever.
Yeah, going back to what you're saying though about being special and carving out something, and Low Sleazy's Hakeem Draper has said very good words about you that we quoted on a previous episode. It's very inspiring what you've been able to carve out in Web3, right? So whether you want to consider yourself special or not is a side issue, but there is clearly some things that are working well for you, right? And definitely
I play Web3 the way I play Population 1.
Okay. I
am not, despite my numbers, an amazing Population 1 player. I beat niggas because I'm hyper aggressive. I will fling myself into gunfire. That's how I killed 3 of you. I'm gonna die, but I'm gonna wipe your fucking squad dying. I'm going to kill the first nigga by surprise. The second nigga is going to go, he's going to double, but no, I'm not going to double back. I'm going straight the fuck at you. I'm going right into your gunfire. And I'm going to take him out. And the third nigga can't imagine that the other 2 members of his team are dead. And by the time he realizes it, he's having a face-to-face shootout with me, close range with a P90. And he may get me, but not before I drop him too and squad wipe him. I play that way. That's how I play Population 1. I play life that way. And I told them niggas in 2021, I don't expect to win. So when you remove the fact that I don't expect to win, I'm not good at Web3 because I'm talented or creative or innovative. I'm good at Web3 is because I don't expect to win. So I'm going to just try to make the biggest crater I can when I explode. Kamikaze pilot shit.
Let's go.
The only thing is, my plane keeps demolishing the building and continuing to fly. So I fly my shit. Boom! Imagine the plane goes through the building, but doesn't blow up. Keeps flying, and I'm like, "Oh shit!"
Guess we still going.
That was. Is the building? Oh, the building's done. Fuck. All right. Well, I didn't really bring a change of clothes. I thought this was a one-way trip. All right, let's try another building. And that's what I've been doing since 2021. So amazing. Sometimes I'm just up here barrel rolling, trying to figure out what the fuck to do next. But at no point do I ever think that I'm the invincible plane that's going to end up still standing. I think that.
Well, I think you're speaking to the hustle, right? And that's very hip hop too, right? You know, you keep going, don't stop. And I think that you're really plugging away and clearly finding some success in that space. Why Bitcoin though?
Oh, sorry, but they told me the benefits of here, and I saw the benefits as they can't paint over my tags. And again, just to speak to the dust thing, 10,000 people are like me, right? The top few hundred, and I've made it to maybe the top 500-600. That's like the best I've ever been in my career, and that was in 2015. The top 500-600, where my name is ringing, but regular people don't know who I am. And sorry, I haven't a look. I'll tell you how much I love hip hop. This is can you hear that?
No.
You hear that?
No, I don't think your microphone likes it.
Oh, good. That's Brownsville Ka.
Okay.
And it is the alarm every day at 1 p.m. for me to give my son his medicine. My son has sickle cell. Oh, so it's every day for me to give him his medicine. A Brownsville Ka song tells me to give my son his medicine. I'm a rapidy rap guy, bro. I'm super hip hop. Like I love that shit. So it hurt to never be able to make a real living off of it. And just as I started to make money, I quit. So
shit.
I was making, I think that last show I probably walked away with like 5-6 G's.
Making money isn't everything, I guess.
Fuck if it isn't.
Yeah. So why'd you quit
tell
then?
us that.
Why'd you quit then if it isn't?
Because it's not worth your life. And I felt that I was going down a dark place, and subconsciously I've told myself some of this shit in the retroactive, but in the moment I quit for money. I said, I need money. I have things that I want to do. This Return of Rap show works. I want to go on tour. I'm going to have to fund it myself. No one's helping me. I have to do everything myself. I need bread. Well, I don't know how to fucking work at Home Depot, nigga. I know how to sell things. So I'm either going to do something illegal or I'm going to have to stop for a second.
Yeah.
So let me just stop for a second. I'm going to go sell timeshare, whatever that is in Florida. Apparently you can make some money doing it. Nice. And I'll be right back. My whole plan, moving to Florida, I'm not living here, nigga. I'm going to stay for like 3-4 months. I'm going to make as much money as I can, save all of it, and come back. That was my plan.
Then you couldn't leave, though.
Nah, it was so much money, I said, the fuck am I going back for?
All right.
What am I going back for?
That's...
I'm in a fucking penthouse with a Benz and a new motorcycle, and I'm being lecherous and disgusting and being a Dracula at nighttime. It's wonderful. I'm having a great time. While I'm getting complaints from the condo association from fuck noises from my balcony because I'm a monster. And they were like, "Oh, there's a lot of sounds." There's not sounds, it's fuck noises. Tell your husband to take a peek out here, catch a lesson, bring that back to you. I'm out here, I'm sharing, I'm Prometheus, bringing fire to the fucking...
Yeah, more babies coming, I guess, eh?
Yeah, well, nah, I'm just in there just fucking just bringing it, man, just batting 1,000. This is 2015. But okay. The point I'm making is like, I needed money. So the whole purpose of me making this album was the Bitcoin blockchain. So sorry, I always do the speech a little bit better than this, but what I was saying was the dust is that you're a thing of value, but the music business has a hard time extracting that value. It sounds bad, but you have to operate outside of the music industry. I was signed to an independent label that ended up kind of folding, and like we did like a quiet quit thing where like no one was really the label anymore, but we still fucked with each other kinda, and whatever internal shit we had going on, no one really knew on the outside. And in the end, it was just me. There was fucking 5-6 artists on the label, and in the end, it was just me. And I had all the tools because they trained me to build myself. It wasn't like, hey son, let me help you put the Legos. It was like, now put a roof on it.
Yeah, just learning as you
go. That's not a roof. Do it again. Yeah. Now put a back door on it. And I'm Mr. Miyagi style teaching, but now I know how to do it myself. Yeah. They did it that way on purpose. So I know how to build myself. So I can do it. I'm tired. So when I came back and I'm like, yo, fuck all that. I ain't doing that shit no more. I made Dust in 2016. Angry from Florida.
It's got so much like Bitcoin philosophy in that, and you weren't into the Bitcoin at that point, were you?
Nothing. But independent hip hop and a rebellious spirit is a kindred spirit to the kind of spirit that says, I don't like money. I don't like the way this money works. Right. I think we should make our own. That's like, I think we can stand on the moon. Exactly. I think that I can live off my art. These are bold statements. Bold, crazy, delusional statements that you have to be a little bit, you gotta be the kind of nigga God don't like, a little bit. Because you're gonna look at the world and say, I'm gonna change that.
Yeah.
At least for me, at least for this square mile around me, I'm changing how this works. And I'm not going to stop until it breaks or kills me or I win.
You have to
throw yourself at it.
You know, I wouldn't dare to speak for God, but I like to think that, you know, disruption and innovation is godly. It's a good thing.
I don't know if you've heard yourself, but a lot of people think you sound like God. A lot of people, I've heard that before.
Wow. Okay. Well,
you're like the blockchain Morgan Freeman. Look at you smiling, blushing.
You know,
I didn't think you'd be susceptible to flattery because you're from such a cold place, but yeah, look at you warming up.
All right, Kane. You're putting me on the spot. You know, if you can't tell, Kane is also an up and coming comedian. He comes through with the analogies. He's got lines for days. And I was lucky enough to be able to see his first comedy set in New York City, which was quite amazing, I have to say. Along with your amazing art, and you were handing out merch, and you had all the physicals, and you had a vinyl of the Dust album. Tell us about why you did a vinyl. Tell us about, you know, the physical side of what you're doing with this project, because that was really impressive. Yeah, look at that beautiful vinyl for true collectors.
I did vinyl. Yeah, there you go.
Oh wow, beautiful. Oh nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's yeah, who did that art for you again?
Sasha Trudeau.
Sasha, yeah, and she got like a coin on Solana or something, right? I grabbed some of that.
She got Fit Token, but she's also like a highly respected and loved member of the Pepe's, Fakes, Danks, Wojaks, Cocos.
The culture.
She's an XCP artist, and you know we all love Sasha, and she's a beautiful soul, very beautiful soul.
Nice.
She actually gave me the sticker, the original picture. She drew that for my birthday.
Oh, nice. Just
it wasn't about
drawing,
nothing.
Yeah?
She just sent it to me like, hey, Kane, my friend, here you go for your birthday. And I was like, oh, thank you. Do you mind if I use this for like my violence? Oh my God, I'd be so proud of it. Oh, good. While you're in a good mood, you want to do another for the other side? You want to do that? Because that'd be good for me too. And I still got to send her one. But anyway.
There you go. That's Web3 for you. That's the community.
I did a vinyl because I never could do vinyl. I did a vinyl because I've been telling people for years at this point that NFTs, the only way that makes sense to explain NFTs, especially for music people, it's a digital vinyl record. It's not a derivative, asset-based, blockchain, technological. It's none of that. It's not a decentralized who's or whatever other complicated lingo they try to use to confuse people and sound smart. It's just a digital vinyl record. That's all it is. As an independent artist on a shoestring budget, which is how I approach everything. As an independent artist on a shoestring budget, a vinyl record is the highest profit margin item you have at your disposal. That's not my opinion, it's a fucking fact. unless you have some weird couture fashion shit like Griselda, a vinyl record is the highest profit margin item you have at your disposal. And that's not to say that you can't sell something else, but a t-shirt. You got a t-shirt, you got a net cost of what, $4, $3?
Right.
You're going to sell that t-shirt for what, 25, 30? Maybe you're a fancy man, you sell a few for a little bit more than that, but you ain't selling it for much more than that. Not consistent. CDs, you get it down to what, $1.80, 98 cents for people who still buy CDs for whatever crazy reason. You're going to sell that for what, $10, $15? You know, cassettes, niche market, but it's still there. You're still not going to get a crazy, you're not going to get much higher than your unit cost. Like you'll double, triple, but you're not going into like that crazy number. Vinyl, you're going to still be around $8, $7, $6, depending on how crazy you get.
Right.
You can sell a vinyl for $50. That's a standard going price. You can go higher for some limited edition shit. Yeah. You want to do a 45 box set, you can really get crazy. The problem with vinyl is it's fucking expensive, and it takes forever, and Mary Kay. So it's expensive, which means you will spend, fuck what you're talking about making, up front, thousands of dollars, because the vinyl nigga doesn't care. They'll press whatever you want. They'll press your raps, your poetry, you reading Mein Kampf in a robe, whatever you're doing. They'll press the vinyl for it. But they want their money up front. They don't give a fuck about you. So you're paying. There's no consignment. You have to lay out thousands, usually, of dollars for maybe a couple hundred of these records. That's one. Two, it takes months. So if you want to release a vinyl in this September, you needed to have bought them typically 3 months ago, 2-3 months ago.
Right.
And that's because vinyl is the perfect commodity that you'll never get all three. You can have it fast, you can have it cheap, you can have it good. Pick two at the most, but you can't have all three. You want it good, you want it cheap, it won't be fast. You want it fast, you want it good, it won't be cheap. You can have two of the three, but no matter which two you pick, the third one will always make sense. And the third thing is Mary Kay. So you laid out the money, you did the waiting, you got a good product. Now as a Web 2 rapper, a traditional rappity rap struggle guy, right? Now the fucking panic sets in. You would think the panic would set in when I'm swiping my credit card, or when I'm doing all that waiting while people say, where's the vinyl, where's the vinyl, where's the vinyl, and I'm losing business, right? No, the panic sets in when the boxes arrive to my house, because now I'm staring at a pile of my money. And the only way to get it back is to sell these.
Start moving them.
That's where delusion breaks right the fuck down. What's your draw? What's your demand? Do you have a base that is voraciously hungry for physical product to where these vinyls will disappear like throwing a glass of water into the ocean? Or do you have two niggas in a room and 15, 12 liters? And you're going, hey guys, I got something for you guys to sip on. And they're like, fuck, I'm good. But I have so much of it. Now that shit's sitting in your garage like Mary Kay lotion. And you realize you're a fucking idiot. Now you're taking shows that you didn't want to take. You're on showcases and bullshit open mics, and you're at nonsense places that you don't fucking belong, just to have a captive audience that you can try to go up there and wow with your sorcery and schlep some of your wares. You, the artist who was trying to get on a rocket ship out of here, have been reduced to the nigga with the push cart in the 1800s selling miracle product. Nigga, you're fucked and life sucks and you want to eat a bullet. I've been there. Jeez. So I never had vinyl, because how could I? How could I have vinyl? And for someone with as much confidence as me to lack confidence, it's not low self-esteem. It's just reality. I got 12 fans. And even if you get your money back, you're not getting your money back at once. You ain't getting your money back in a lump sum. You'll sell couple here, couple there, couple here, couple there. It'll pay a cell phone bill. It'll never buy a car.
Okay, so you got to have the demand for it. I was definitely curious about the Mary Kay reference, but now I get it.
You're just sitting on it,
sitting in your garage. So how did you incorporate it then? How is it working for you, and what angle did you take?
NFTs paid for it.
Right.
I didn't pay for it. The NFT sales bought the vinyl.
Nice.
So I've already made the money. So now I'm comfortable sitting on these forever. It's not Mary Kay at this point. Now it's rare treasure.
Right.
It's all about mindset and how much of your money do you need back. If the NFTs bought the vinyl and then some, I'm in a great position.
I dig it.
So I'm just like, yo, fuck it. Yeah, I don't mind. I'll burn some of these. You'll never see them. And then people are like, hey man, how do I get the vinyl? We're on Burn to Redeem. The website's being redone now. A Burn to Redeem mechanism's being installed to where in order to get the vinyl, you have to burn a copy of dust.
That's pretty intense.
It. Destroy the NFT if you want the vinyl.
But for now, you've sent out vinyls to those who requested it and collected it without having to burn anything, right?
Well, no. What happened was the top 10 collectors got the vinyl for free. That was the deal.
Top 10.
And since I knew one of the biggest collector was going to be in New York for NFT NYC, I brought a bunch with me. And then I wasn't going to bring any, but they had just come in the day before. And I was like, oh shit, I got a super chief gallery and I could bring my vinyl. Okay, rare, limited, I'll sell a couple. And they were for sale. You could have bought it for like $100 and something in the gallery. But with no burning, no purchase, no NFT, no nothing, just because you're there and it's a special occasion. And then people who couldn't make it, or people who didn't know I was there, or people who were in New York but our schedules just ships in the night, or when they went to the gallery, I wasn't there because I was somewhere else, and they just missed me or they just didn't get one. They felt, a little let down.
Yeah.
And as much as I'm a dick, I really don't like letting people down. So I was like, okay, I'll open up real quick. And that got mad out of control. And then I had to ship the vinyl.
Yeah. Nice. Even went creative with the box. Let's go.
Oh, you have no idea. Oh, you don't know about box?
Yeah, I know about box. Tell us about it.
Are you invigorated?
I know. Wow. Amazing.
So
vinyl in a pizza style box.
This started off as just I needed something to fucking ship the NFT in. I'm sorry, I had to ship the vinyl. So I got vinyl I got to send out to like 20-something people. I need to put it in something. You can't just ship a butt-naked vinyl.
Nah.
So I figured I'll buy the box from Amazon or something just to save myself some trouble at the package store. So I try to find box. I can't find box. I can't find one in the proper dimensions. So I call the pack. The little place like where pedophiles get their mail. There's one everywhere.
I do not know that place.
There's one everywhere. There's DHL, FedEx, UPS, Pony Express combo. It's always a sketchy store.
Gotcha.
There's one near my house, but they're the nicest ones I've ever seen. And they're super, super nice people. There's P.O. boxes, and there's way less sketchy people than this one. But I've seen some real, like, oh yeah, this is definitely like a dark web pickup site. This is fucking nuts in here. But I said, hey, package man, I need some box. So he's like, yeah, for the dimensions you described, he misquoted me. It'll be like $6.25. And I said, for fucking one?
Per box?
Nigga, what? I gotta send out like 50 of these bitches. For fucking one? Nigga, for $6, I can get a custom box. Ooh. Custom box. How much is that? So I get to looking. And I find a place that I can make custom box.
Beautiful.
This was supposed to be a thin brown box that just said dust. By the time I was done, I have multiple panels, shit written on the inside, lips, and fucking extra hidden pictures under here, and this, and oh my bad, you can't even see the
That's
fucking.
Awesome. Very creative.
Nah, nigga, fucking.
Nice. Got the branding on there and everything.
Yeah,
got some stickers and stuff.
I went way out of control, and by the time I was done, it was still a $6 box.
Hey,
so
at least you got it decked out now.
Also, I double fucked myself because I made the box so nice. I can't ship that.
So
now I need a box for my box. So I ended up taking a bath on the boxes, and that's a $600 fucking box. They're like, I had to buy a bunch of those, and I still had to buy boxes, and I still had to ship.
Right.
The good news is, because of the NFTs, I'm so far in the black, I can take a cut. And then I'm sending it. So people like you who were in New York and have a vinyl. You have a vinyl, I believe, right?
I don't, unfortunately. I missed it.
You didn't get the vinyl?
No, they weren't being handed out to me. I'm not in the top 10. I didn't think I'd get a free one. I didn't, $100 American is a little tough for me.
Fucking cheap Canadians, man. You guys, it's always
American. That's like a 50% tax on that shit.
Oh, I would have shipped you one.
I'm just messing with you, but yes, thank you. I appreciate
the point is, the people who were there, who got the vinyl, had one up on everybody for a couple of weeks. And it's like, yeah, I got the Kane vinyl, I got the Kane vinyl, I got the Kane vinyl, and I'm like, yeah, you got the vinyl, but do you have box? What's box? And then images of this, and I did a video for it and showing people box, and they're like, oh shit, that box is a work of art. I want to have it. What they didn't realize is I try to over deliver. So then I used AR, my buddy Ebro.
Let's go.
And I turned this all like 5 fucking triggers that play secret songs. So when you scan it with your phone, the picture comes to life, turns into a video, starts playing, and plays a secret song.
Amazing.
So, and the thing about that part is, and this is the thing that I've been telling the music guys, you don't have to make NFTs to do that.
That's true.
You could have done that for your vinyl. And it's like, oh man, yeah, but like, how much did that cost? And and one of the reasons I lose friends, I refuse to let a loser mentality penetrate my psyche. So more I'm protecting myself than attacking you. But it don't feel like that when I'm doing it. What people don't understand is that what you are doing is trying to contaminate my planet. And I can't have that. So when you're trying to land your rocket ship and we scan and I'm like, there's viruses. And now we're shooting at you. And you're like, this is a hostile planet. It's not a hostile planet. Disinfect yourself. Rid yourself of that ailment. You have an unnatural comfortability around loser shit, and I'm not with it. And it's like, how much did that cost? It costs nothing, nigga. It costs nothing. Now what? Now what's your excuse?
You know the right people.
Oh man, well, I mean, you'll put me on, educate. Yeah. No, that's not life. Life is not a put you on situation. You have to be out here with your face marred by the dust of the arena.
Spend time
the
out
same
here.
person that's telling you this told you in 21, yo, come over here. Come with me. Don't worry about nothing. Just stand next to me. I got you. They wouldn't do it.
Yep.
Because in their mind, I'm washed up. My career is over. I'm on some last ditch effort, cyber scam shit. They don't even know what I'm doing. And they didn't stop to ask why. And because they didn't stop to ask why, they negotiated themselves out of the den. And then as I just stayed with it and kept going, it's like, still trying that old pyramid scam shit, right? And I go, this ain't Forex, nigga. I'm legitimately making money off my art.
Right.
Are you?
Exactly.
Are fucking you? And that's when it becomes a, hey man, I'm doing something. Yeah, you're hamster wheeling. You're putting shit on Spotify for 0.0033 cents a stream. One of my collectors is worth 75,000 streams. Why would I ever go back? The mathematics of how I perceive life is founded in true grit and reality and determination and actual numbers. I'm not a crazy person. I just sound like one.
Yeah, so, actual revenue.
And I got vinyl. I never had vinyl. And I didn't pay for it out of pocket.
Exactly.
I got technology that I can use because it's just laying on the fucking jungle floor. You know how long I've known about Artivive? since the fucking summer of 21.
Wow.
Easy and Crypto, who I think you know is a good friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
I've known Easy, one of the first people I met.
Nice.
I was in Miami at my first Bitcoin Miami, and Kinshasa, who with Easy ran the cipher, goes, and he has long, flowing ginger hair.
Okay.
And he's like, Kane, you want to see something cool? And I was like, yeah, man, I always want to see something cool. And he's like, watch this. And he takes his phone, and he's like, come look. And we look through his phone, and he scans Easy's shirt and his fucking shirt. So imagine this Ghostface shirt.
Right.
You scanned it, but through the camera, the wings started flapping, and the bird started like flying through fire and breathing fire. That's crazy, right?
That's wild.
He had a Josie Bellini, which shouts to her, amazing artist, legend in Web3, with the gas mask. And the gas mask goes up and it starts raining Bitcoin and fire. Then the gas mask comes back on, and it's this amazing thing. And I was like, yo, what the fuck am I looking at? And they're like, that's AR, bro. That's augmented reality.
Let's go.
I said, yo, y'all like living the future. And I'm remember, I'm kind of a dick, but I don't really have putt cards. So when I'm genuinely amazed, I'm 6. Yeah. And I was like, can I live in the future with you guys too? And they were like, you do live in the future, Ken. I was like, no, I really don't. I live over here with a T-Mobile bill and like creditors and shit. Right. I don't know about magic shirts. What type of sorcery? And then so I've known of this for years. I just didn't have anything I thought was worth it.
That's amazing. Amazing.
So now I have this. This album was planned since 2021. Not the AR, Dust. I met Rad May of 21.
Wow.
Because Skrilla was explaining Bitcoin and NFTs to me. And I still didn't understand it. I'm still saying ethereoids and Mega Man masks and shit. I don't know nothing. And he's explaining it to me in early 21, and I'm like, and then he pulls out a vinyl record and says, this has the Bitcoin blockchain infused in it. So Dust isn't even the first vinyl with the infused music, but it's the first one most people know about. But Rad made a vinyl for a memorial tribute to rest in peace to John Villar, who's a counterparty dev and a super OG and a very great guy and a fellow South American.
Wow.
But I said, what? And because, Satoshi Nakamoto, and I'm learning all this at once, I thought Rad was an old Japanese man. When he's just a nigga from Jersey who built a piece of hardware that turns Bitcoin into sound.
Yeah, shout out to Rad Audio.
The sound.
Yeah.
So with Dust, I said, can I reach out to him? He's like, yeah. So I was like, excuse me, Mr. Audio, if you have a moment, I would love to just pick your brain if that's okay. And he's like, I'm thinking he's an old Japanese man. So he's like, yeah, hit me up, whatever. And I'm like, it's kind of informal for an old Japanese man. Okay, but it's not. I thought I was going to talk to the most honorable. I didn't know who the fuck this was. So we get on the phone, and I'm like, oh, you're just a nigga from Jersey. I thought you were an old Japanese man. He's like, you thought I was Satoshi Nakamoto, like the guy from the picture? I was like, I think so. So he laughs, and he realizes I'm stupid, and I'm genuinely amazed by what he does, and he works so hard, and he's so smart, and he just doesn't get the credit he deserves. Rad's legitimately one of the smartest people I've met, ever, in anything. He does with technology what I do with effort. He just mentally brute forces shit, and a problem will eat at him. He has to solve it. And I pretend that I don't, but I love that about him, because I'll never, and I'm just like, I don't know. He's a good friend. But I said, well, do you want to make an album out of this? And he's like, hell yeah.
Let's go.
This is in 2021.
Shit.
It took 3 years for me to get the confidence, for me to get the market, for me to understand this place, for me to have the clientele, the collectors, the reputation, for me to have a positioning for me to have you can dream all the dreams you want. Deployment, that's where the hard part is. Like right now, we're working on the Bitcoin audio platform. And it's deployment, bro. It's all just fucking deployment. How did you deliver this to the people? And it's the Akron, Ohio metaphor, which is if I took you, not you, because obviously you're a man of the people with incredible eyelashes, but if I took someone else who's not you, doesn't have your eyebrows, and put them in Akron, Ohio, with the best weed ever known to man, absolute, whatever that crack weed niggas be smoking now with all the jums in it. Nah, niggas want weed to be. If you need weed to do all that, honestly, just smoke. Just smoke crack.
No, that stuff's weird. I saw it when I was in New York. I was like, what are all these crystal things and stuff? I've never seen weed like that in my life.
Done. And what it is that the Just Say No campaigns was too strong, and now niggas who need drugs are ashamed to use them, so they're trying to make weed do what morphine does, and it's not supposed to do that.
No, that's the whole point of weed. It's supposed to be real low key, you know. Keep it
natural.
natural.
But they don't want low key. They need fucking the raging mind explosion of a crack rock.
Right.
They need free bass, the ammonia kind. Like they need real. They need to smoke a wet willy or something. niggas need some dippers. Yo, dust is still out there. You can get some anyway. Point is I wanted people to understand that you got to go outside. I use the Akron, Ohio thing that if you have the best weed in Akron, Ohio, and you're sitting in an apartment and I give you 5 pounds of the best weed ever, and you're in Akron, Ohio in an apartment, how would you get that weed off? However you would do that, whatever your thought process is, that's what you need to do here. No one knows you. No one cares. Not because they wouldn't care, but because they never heard of you. They don't know you. They don't trust you. Not that they wouldn't trust you. They don't know you to trust you. So how would you sell your weed? And however that is, and again, don't give me some Pablo Escobar selling weight fucking bullshit shortcut. I'm talking about hand-to-hand, 5 pounds, bagged up in nickels. You got to move it all, and you got to move it to the people who's buying it, who's smoking it. Customers only. How you selling it?
It's another solid analogy for sure. I mean, in the end, I think to your point about sales, right? And this might speak to that, whether you want to call it being special or just your own unique skill set, right? Selling things in general, let alone yourself and your own skills and your own art, is definitely an acquired skill, right? And it's clear that, you know, you have no problem being able to kind of speak to the value of what you're doing, and you have no problem kind of hosting spaces where you are actually doing what you were just mentioning, whereas like you're kind of setting up guardrails for what you see as like should be kind of the ideals and the philosophies that guide Web3, and doing that in kind of a collective way and bringing people together around kind of what I see as a kind of bigger vision for Web3 music. And I think that's part of your brand. I don't know if you'd agree with that, but I think that that does speak to how you've been able to, you know, create a lot of what do you call it, currency with the rare Skrillas and the Bitcoin audios and the people that have been in this space prior to you, and who also have, you know, quite a bit of their own following, right? So that gives you that network effect. How would you kind of speak to what you've done so far and how much, you know, your sales experience actually has kind of played a big role in your ability to move NFTs and your ability to create, you know, more of a market for yourself? Less than you'd think.
In fact, I'd say a lot less than you'd think.
Okay.
Because one, I don't need to sell anything here. People aren't buying it based on your pitch. They're buying it based on you. They're buying you. They're buying your story. So I had a conversation with my man last night where I was like, you know, integrity is sell for cheap, but it's expensive. Your reputation sells for cheap, but it's expensive. Motherfuckers trade their reputation for $2,000. The next thing you know, they're having a problem doing shit out here because you was burning your friends and dumping on their head with using friend tech or some other bullshit. You know, you had a shit coin that you deployed thinking that that was the wave. So you were just literally dumping on niggas' heads with shit coins for the last 6 months. And then when your project drops, you're like, oh man, NFTs must be dead. Nah, man, your credibility dead. They don't fuck with you. They still buy art. People still buy shit they like, but They buy you before they buy your fucking pictures. We make pictures, and there's lots of people here who make pictures. There's people who make way better art than me. I'm a novice visual artist. There's people who make better music than me. I'm an acquired taste, and I make mid. There's people with
bars are definitely more than mid. Come on, man.
Well,
don't sell yourself short.
I've never made the purple tape.
Okay.
So it's mid. That's the top. I don't abuse superlatives. So I make mid. Mid's good. Mid's average. Average is good. An average size dick ain't small, yo. Don't let the world trick you into thinking that it's a Bentley or a bucket. Like there's middle ground. Middle is okay. Like I've never made Supreme Clientele. I've never made The Infamous. Those are top tier albums. I've made mid, and mid's okay. I like mid, and I make exceptional mid.
With your permission, I want to play an outro song. I was thinking that Clear off the album, if you're okay with that, and maybe our fans can let us know what they think. But I am curious. I want to get your thoughts specifically on what you've been discussing, but I think there's a lot of competing opinions right now about like the state of Web3 music more broadly, right? And we see some platforms like a Sound.xyz that seems to be increasing in adoption. Others like maybe Audius or others that have kind of struggled a little bit more and not have like a clear kind of value proposition. What's your thought on Web3 music and these platforms that have kind of been popping up?
Everybody needs to toughen up, but they don't. Realistically, I don't. I've stopped investing emotional currency because they're a letdown factory, and I don't want to be the angry guy. I don't want to be the angry guy. I don't want to be fucking Joe Morals. I don't want to be the reverend who shows up to the tavern and everyone starts putting their coke away. Like I don't. That's not what I want to be. That's not who I am. I'm a scoundrel. Since when am I the sheriff? I don't want to be the sheriff. I really don't. Truth be told, 95% of my rhetoric was for other people. Hey, y'all should fight against that because it's not in your best interest. I'll be fine. And I think people forgot that I always added that part at the end, but yeah, that's just for y'all because I'll be fine. And their natural aversion to the rebellious spirit speaks in a deafening volume of how they were onboarded and for what purpose. Most of those people are here for quick money. They did not find it. So what they are trying to do is convert the time they've spent here into some sort of ticket that they can cash in for money. I think they wow soft and they OG periwinkle. And I think in any other country, they would have starved to death years ago. My actual views is that they were never musicians in the first place, most of them. They were hobbyists and, mental masturbators who have 1,000 reasons why things haven't worked until today. But they're going to come here and tell you all the ways that they know, never done it, never been on tour, don't know shit, don't have any. They're as connected to the music business as watching porn connects them to hot bitches in their area. Like they know nothing. It's all from TV and their imagination. So they're like, yeah, man, when I get in the music business, I'm gonna be like, yo, I get these pizzas and she's gonna open the door and I pull my dick out and I go, that's not the way you deliver a pizza. You're gonna get arrested. You're out of your mind. That's not the way the music business works. They don't have a natural fear of anything either. So they'll trade the cow that their mother sent them to the store to sell, to feed their family for magic beans that grow nothing. And when I say, bro, we got a cow here, and they're saying, yeah, but there's lots of cow. Nah, bro, you don't always have a cow. Sometimes you have a chicken. Sometimes you just have some baubles and trinkets your aunt made, nigga. We have a whole cow that we can sell and feed our family. Why the fuck are you talking to the nigga with the push cart? Stay away from him. You don't need him. And they go, whatever, Kane, you don't know. And I go, all right, bro, do your thing. But I will reiterate for the benefit of the people who never heard it. There is no such thing as a Web3 music platform.
Okay.
Everywhere that I can put an MP4, an MP3, an audio GIF is by definition a Web3 music place. OpenSea, Rarible, Calumet, rest in peace.
On chain, as long as it's on chain, right?
On chain doesn't matter. Where you store your metadata is of no consequence to me. As long as it's not like Pinata or Google Drive or fucking AWS, something with a subscription that can be canceled. Your IPFS is forever.
Right.
Your my Arweave links are forever. And someone's gonna say, yeah, until the hey motherfucker, Arweave is built on Ethereum, so betting against them is betting against Ethereum.
Yeah.
You think Ethereum's going down? Oh no, fucking all right then. So Arweave will be fine. They're written in indelible ink. Putting it on the Bitcoin blockchain, put it wherever you put it, metadata aside. Your tokens, if you can put the audio in there with your music, obviously I believe, in my opinion, there should be, and there must be, and this is a little prescriptive, some sort of a visual element. Because it's not just the music.
Right.
It's the music, it's the visual, it's the crypto, and it's the technology merged together to make a unique fifth thing. Right. The sum of the whole is greater than the parts individually. And that's what makes it strong. That's why I've managed to, I haven't survived talking like this because people are invigorated by my speech pattern. Some of them are. They're weird. They're terrorists. But everyone else is like, oh yeah, I wish Kane would just phrase it differently. Because truth is, I'm abrasive. But I'm abrasive because this is worth fighting for. So when they go to fucking sound, and sound devalues them, to be very clear, I don't have a problem with sound. They just talk niggas out of their chain.
So in your earlier analogy,
goes, hey man, we ain't robbing nobody. And I go, nah, you talking them out of their chain. That's a nice chain.
Consider them the push cart in that earlier analogy? Like they're kind of they're a push cart option. They're saying, hey, just come throw your music in here and we'll help you move it kind of thing.
But they don't promise that. They don't promise that. Sound never says they're going to sell your shit for you. And to their benefit, they are correct. To Sound's benefit, they are drinking the lifeblood of artist insecurity. And since that is a bountiful river, they will never be thirsty. They say, hey, you don't know how to do any of this shit, right? No, I don't. And you're probably secretly intimidated by all this, aren't you? Yeah. You don't want to look stupid, right? No. Well, then stay in the gate right here and we do it all for you. Also, don't you want to be where the music is? You make music, right? Yeah, well, the music's here. But I wouldn't make it too expensive because no one knows. So put it for like $3, but do lots of them. Imagine if you sold 5,000.
Right.
You're not going to sell 5,000. You're probably not going to sell 5. You're just another chump over there selling shit for $3, and you look whack.
Man, people are giving them out for free even, and I hear where you're coming from. So what do you say, just to push back a little, play devil's advocate, and as someone who's collected a couple, not much on sound, but 1 or 2 to support some friend, but how do you feel about the argument that having a community space is good, so having somewhere where a person who wants to collect Web3 music can go land there and actually have a bit of discoverability and find music that they otherwise might not have been able to find? So there's that angle, the kind of community angle. And then on the flip side, to your tech kind of argument, it is still on chain. The funds are still going kind of direct, although they take a cut, of course, to your decentralized wallet. So in many ways, you do have a certain level of ownership and revenue generation that otherwise might not have been available to you, depending again on your marketing maybe prowess or comfortability talking about your own music, all these different factors that might factor in to why someone would want to go somewhere where they're reaching a Web3 music audience that they are not familiar with. So that's kind of 3 different points in favor, maybe arguably, about sound. How do you feel about those kind of narratives?
If you knew you could, you wouldn't. If the price was equidistant and I told you the price was the same, you're going to get a Ruth Chris steak or a Big Mac from McDonald's. Which one are you taking?
Obviously, you're going to take that steak.
Well, it's not obvious to me because I would say if you knew you could, you wouldn't. If you knew that just by going around the space, and it's going to take you 2-3 years, making friends, meeting people, every couple of days, try to collect another collector. And they're not buying your artwork because the visual ambrosia overwhelms them and ferments up their dick fruit so that they trigger their wallet reaction to give you money. They just like you, bro. Some shit you said. And you know what? It takes about 7 or 8 touches. So they'll see you a couple times after that before they really start paying attention to you. So probably helps to be yourself. You'll be more consistent that way. But as you walk around the space being you, collecting collectors, that collector will not only pay a higher price because they are actually dialed into you, not an ecosystem. See, because even by the definition you gave, which isn't actually what happens there, let's just say it was what happens there. They're not your collector. They're Sound's collector. And what if Sound says, hey, David, I don't really care about your views on Palestine. Canceled. Now you're kicked out of Eden. Whereas Eden, in my scenario, is wherever you are. Because they rock with you for you. And the funny thing about people who like you for you, and take it from me, I say a lot of spicy shit. You can't cancel me to my audience.
I like that.
Kane said, don't do this because you're going to get blah, blah, blah. Don't you find that offensive? That's nothing compared to what he normally says. He said that, he must have been behaving because my people know me. You can't cancel me to them because they know me. They know my flaws. They know my faults. They know my voice. They know when I'm stressed. They know how I sound. You can't cancel me to Token Smart. You can't cancel me to Counterparty. In fact, people have angrily tried to do whisper campaigns and have been very upset. And I've tried to explain to people, my nigga, don't make them choose. Because despite how they'll pretend I offend them, I am highly beloved because I help, I tell the truth, I shed light on the real, I onboard effectively, and I've never ripped nobody off out here.
Yeah,
so even the people who get a little schmutz on their jacket, they look over at me and go, well, yeah, I mean, he does it right. Because I don't steal. I don't cut corners, not even for my own benefit. I lose sales. I try to talk someone out of buying my art at my drop party because I didn't think it was appropriate for me to be his first purchase. That wasn't performative. I meant this shit. I mean it now. And all I really am, especially for the old timers, which, you know, it's a funny way to refer to people who've been around since 2016, but 2015, you know,
right.
For people who've been around since 2010, I speak the old lingo.
Crypto OGs.
But I'm their culture because they're who onboarded me.
Mm-hmm.
So since I was onboarded by OGs in an OG fashion, I act like them, but I have new nigga energy. My legs are fresher. I haven't been worn down by time and disillusionment. So I'm still fighting the fight that they were fighting 5 years ago. And they're like, yo, fucking Kane, bro. I agree with you, man. It's fucking tiring, bro. And I go, I know, but we're going to go. And they're like, yeah.
You still got the energy. Hey, good to go.
Hey, by the way, have you met so-and-so? And I go, nah, I don't know who that is. And again, despite my persona on some of this shit, I'm pretty nice to people. If you're a dick to me, then if I think that what you do is harmful, I don't hold back.
Right.
But even with Sound, I don't think Sound's doing anything wrong. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
I think that telling artists that their work should be selling for less money is not appropriate. It's inappropriate. And they may say, there's nothing on our website, but I live here. And I've lived here when you were new. So your culture is what it is, and them screenshots don't disappear. So I don't debate the undebatable. They advise artists to sell for less.
Yeah.
High issuance, low cost. And since most people do not have the base to achieve success that way, what they are doing is bringing us backwards. why would someone pay $50 for your song? The answer to that question is they would not. That's why I don't sell songs. I sell music NFTs, which is not just the song. It's the song and the artwork and the crypto and the technology combined together to make a unique fifth thing that's stronger than the sum of its parts. Now, most people can't make a value proposition that clean, and you can blame that on my sales background.
Yeah,
however,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm good at putting together the value proposition just so I have a reason to get out of bed every day and not suck on the end of a Winchester. However,
come on.
The point about them being harmful is that they prey on artists' insecurities. And if you knew you could, you wouldn't. And what I say to them is, you're looking at me like I'm throwing rocks at your friend group. And I'm looking at you like, why do you need a friend group?
Mm.
And they're saying, what are you going to do? You can't do it by yourself, Kane. And I go,
watch me.
You're missing it.
Right.
That's not together. Y'all are not together. You're a chain gang over there. Don't confuse what you're doing with togetherness. Nigga, I'm together. You want to see how many I am? Attack me.
Mm.
Watch how many, watch. Attack me. Look what happened when Spotty did it. He pissed off a bunch of people when he came at me.
Right, yeah.
And what did I do? Hey, man, we're not competing with each other. Yeah. He thought I was going to jump out the fucking window on him. Mm. Why? We're not competing.
Yeah.
This isn't a...
Totally different lanes.
This isn't a... No, it's not about lanes.
Right.
This is not a who raps the best contest. This isn't a whose music, whose money. It's a find your tribe contest, and you're competing against your own respective poverty. The next artist win is not your loss. It's not your gain. It's nothing. If anything, it's motivation that it's still possible. So we don't all have to be super best friends, but if he's arguably one of the largest artists in music Web3s, why didn't he squish me? Why couldn't he squish me?
Right.
Because this doesn't work that way.
Right.
You want this to be like where you're from, and it's not.
Right.
So you all huddled together in a fucking chain gang. You think that's unity, and it's not unity. You're a bunch of scared people. Mm. And I see it for what it is. You're afraid. You're afraid to engage the marketplace honestly and from a place of genuine interest. All you got to do is bring yourself. Let the space make use of you, and everything works itself out. Let the space make use of you freely. Don't try to tally it up in your head that you're going to deploy some receipt later for accounts payable for all the effort. Just be here for genuine interest. Share your art, share your ideas, be yourself, be a lighthouse. The ships that see your frequency will sail towards you. They won't all be customers. Some of them will be devs. Right. Some of them will be helpmates. Some of them will be like-minded individuals who are just there to encourage you. Some of them will be OGs, veterans who can guide you. There'll be all kinds of people because your frequency will attract who can see it. And they're not all going to be what you want them to be. Some of them will be enemies. It's just what it is. Yeah. My frequency brings boats to my shore, and when I need something, I can get. They go, "Hey Kane, how'd you do AR?" Well, it's called Ebro. "Hey Kane, how'd you get that bitmap?" I called Jagar.
That's it. That's funny. Shout out to Ebro and Jagar. They actually are tied right now for the most showings on Web3 Warriors. We like to talk to them about all their creative stuff they're working on, both in AR and the metaverse. But yeah.
You're around. You're blockchain gospel and neighborhood jewelry.
You know.
And but you know what that means.
I do, yeah, exactly.
So when they say do it by yourself, and I go, you really don't fucking get it, do you? You have to find your tribe. There is no replacement for finding your tribe. Because you need your tribe. How are you supposed to innovate to the maximum of your ability if you're not finding the people who are going to help you? You think a room full of musicians that are also trying to sell their art is your tribe? What are you, out of your fucking mind?
Yeah.
You ever been on a boat when the food runs out? That's what the fuck you're building over there.
Okay, and I'm going to go back to this episode and count the number of analogies that you have successfully executed here. It's really something. It's impressive, I got to say.
Well, I know you got to move on and do stuff, but I want to say this real quick. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
When I say they look at me like I'm doing something wrong or different, or I don't hate them. I feel bad for them because you let a sucker nigga talk you out your chain. And now you over there off of pride because you're too prideful to admit that a sucker nigga talked you out your chain. And for those of you who are watching this and don't know what I mean, talk you out of your chain is an old New York slang where you are new to the neighborhood or whatever, perceived to be weak, and someone says, hey man, that's a nice chain. This is a real dangerous neighborhood. You need to be careful. A lot of people around here are already talking about you and your chain. They're going to take it from you. And I'm telling you, you can't stop them. Them guys over there, they're the ones pointing at you. They're going to take your chain. I'm pretty respected here. Why don't you let me hold it? That way I have it. And if you need it, I can give it to you. That way no one takes it and then you never get it. And if that makes sense to you, understand the mental position you were in to begin with. You were checkmated before the pieces started moving.
Another
your
wild analogy.
But that's what it is.
I hear you. I hear you.
They talk you out your fucking chain. Yo, man, you think you're gonna come to the internet metaverse and make a bunch of money when you've never made it before? Of course you're not. In fact, you don't know nothing about this. What, you some sort of computer geek nerd? You a hacker on the low? Of course you're not, bro. But we do all that work for you. Why don't you come on in here? And that way, you're where the music is. I mean, yo, check it out. All that $300, get that shit out of your head, man. Ain't none of that real. Anybody ever give you $300 for a song? Would you pay $300 for a song? Of course you wouldn't. So why don't you give a few away for free to get the market's appetite wet? That ain't getting nobody wet for shit. All you're doing is establishing yourself as someone whose work is valueless. It's better to have
dropping bombs, Kane.
Stand on that and make more shit. So, you're gonna make more shit. Just stand there on your square and keep being you. Eventually, help will come. And for anyone who can hear this, if you say to yourself, well, Kane Mayfield, because everyone says my whole name in their head for some fucking reason. Well, Kane Mayfield, I have been standing on my square and I've been making stuff and it's not been working for me and I've been trying and nothing's happening for you, call me. I ain't but a tweet, DM away. Tell me who you are. Say you were watching this. Say you heard me. Yo, I need help. I'm not charging you. I don't want nothing from you, but I will tell you my honest opinion and shoot you a few ideas to get your fucking push cart out of the mud because I've been there.
Let's go.
And I'm not doing it because I'm nice. I'm doing it because a bunch of carts stuck in the mud makes this neighborhood look shitty. I'd rather you were out the mud than in it, because you being in the mud does nothing for me, and you being out the mud makes this a bustling marketplace. I benefit from your success passively. So I just want you to be better and do better.
A genuine offer from Kane Mayfield here. I hope somebody from our audience takes him up on it, because you got a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience now, 3-4 years in the space and a lot of successful drops. It's really amazing. So what I'm hearing, just pulling back, looking at this, your point about Web3 music platforms and the idea that they're just not additive essentially to the Web3 music space, right? They're devaluing artists, talking them into dropping massive amounts at a cheap dollar cost, and then often, not really selling a lot, which ends up ultimately devaluing themselves to the public, is kind of your viewpoint. And then on the same token, you're not building on your own sand, right? You're building a foundation on someone else's sand. And so worst case scenario, they try to cancel you or something. Now you've lost your access to sound, and who knows, what other opportunities you might lose there. So yeah, definitely see the value there. That's what Web3 is all about, is really about being kind of sovereign and owning your own space. So on that, switching from sound.xyz to scarce.city, I'm curious about, your thoughts on scarce.city. What is kind of the background on it? I definitely see a lot of Pepe, a lot of memes, a lot of kind of old school crypto culture on scarce.city, but I'm not too familiar with it. I'm a little bit embarrassed to say I only recently set up my profile on there. So could you share a little bit about what scarce.city is about and why you've dropped some NFTs over there? Your Bitcoin?
Canadian accent is hilarious, by the way. It's scarcity.
Scarcity, okay. Scarce.city. I'm reading the URL.
Sparse.
Scarcity. Okay, sorry.
you call biscuits a scone, don't you? Fucking.
There are scones. Scones and biscuits are not the same thing. They're not the same thing.
Listen here, Englishman. This is why your money is named after our cartoons. There's a difference. I promise you, American is the right way to do it.
Okay.
because it was just the 4th of July. Listen, you're gonna need like at least it to be August before I get off my patriotism.
I respect it.
And also when cricket's going on, I'm very Guyanese. I got my flag around here somewhere. I was waving it the other day. But yeah,
the least American thing you could say right there, cricket.
Fucking right. I'm a duality. I'm a layer, the layers to the onion. Scarcity is 3 things. One, and I think that the number one thing is the thing that they're least known for, which is they're a very great group of people. They're not a very large crew, and not just Chris, but the whole team there is really a great, beautiful group of people. And they're hard workers, and they try, and they're innovative, and they're forgiving, and they really like go out of their way to help artists and help collectors. They are mortar that holds the block of artists and collectors together. The people that create and the people that consume need a middle layer. They need a non-friction, or at least a diet friction zone in which to transact with each other, because it's just not always clean. And they make it clean through effort and hard work and innovation, and really a lot of tireless, thankless hours. And like I'm genuinely very thankful for them. That's the first thing they are. The second thing they are is an auction house. They're an auction house for fine Bitcoin inspired, related, or incorporated goods, and not crypto, Bitcoin. Someone made that mistake once with them, and they had like a crypto voxels wearable. And shouts to Son, because it was dope. I actually helped. I was like, you got them to do that? Dope. I'm about to do that next. But it was a mistake. They were just busy and like distracted. So someone didn't check something, or didn't realize that something wasn't Bitcoin.
That it was an
and they had
NFT.
put in your ETH address so that you could receive this wearable drop. And on the day of the launch, it was live for like an hour. And then someone was like, what the fuck is this? And they clipped it. And the guy's like, yo, what the fuck? He's like, we don't do Ethereum here.
Right.
Bitcoin only. Their hard line on that is impressive. As much as I would, like to see this, that, or the third, I think sometimes it's there's something beautiful about a well-tiled door, a sound ecosystem. The other thing that they are is super duper OG. Nice. They are purveyors of artifacts. So when you want to buy a sword, you can go to a blacksmith and he'll make you one. Or you can go to the sword store and you'll get one made in China. But if you want an 1820 English forged, owned by Danish nobility, you want to get a piece of history, well, that ain't available at your local fucking AMP. When you want to buy Spells of Genesis, and for people who don't know what that is, if you know, you know. You want to buy rare Pepes in a safe and sound environment. You want to buy fine Bitcoin legacy goods, things that are ancient and important and upstanding. You have to go where they are. And these people purvey them. And also, if you want to just buy some, you want to buy a fucking wooden statue carved with Satoshi Nakamoto's face on it, and his back has an open dime, and you want to buy some weird Bitcoin shit, nigga, and it's also mad expensive. Yo, bro, you want to feel broke? Go browsing around on Scarcity.
I got it up on the screen right now. There's some 0.5 Bitcoin, some 0.3 Bitcoin.
Look at the furniture. You want to get a fucking end table shaped like Hal Finney, nigga? That should be $55,000. If I had a crypto bank, like a Bitcoin savings and loan, they sell the kind of shit I would put on the wall in my conference room. Crazy stuff. But I have a lot of respect for them. That was my first auction that I ever did with my first fake rare. And that's how I met Van Doe. Van Doe was my top collector from that. I gave him a bunch of stuff afterwards just because for a long time, that was the most expensive thing that I'd ever sold. He paid $1,600 for one.
Dang. Nice.
One.
Congrats.
That's so to awesome. Say like, and I know one Bitcoin is one Bitcoin, and we shouldn't price things in fiat, but at the time I was still pretty disillusioned. And I was still like, even though I was outwardly pro and of the community, I was still in my head a little doubtful about my place here. And someone going, not only is this worth money, but I'm going to pay more money than everyone here just to be number one. And it's not like he got something different. He got an extra one, but everyone just got one. They got the same token. No one got a different token. It's the same token. He just paid way more for it. And my guilt, I've been just giving him more stuff just to try to balance that in my head, because it felt really good knowing that somebody looked over here, and even if they didn't, even if it was just a flex, even if they were just flexing on other collectors, even if it was just I got the crypto and it don't matter.
Yeah.
On my side of the internet, you at least saw value enough to do that with me.
Yeah.
So, you know, and Scarcity also has, and shouts to Mopar. Mopar Mining is another reason why I took extra steps to make the vinyl so good. When I sold the original NFT for Dust on Scarcity, Mopar was in the comments on Telegram, like, is this a physical vinyl? And I said, nah, not yet. And he's like, well, I don't fucking care about NFTs. So, and people were hitting me up like, yo, that guy's dissing you. And I was like, no,
he's being genuine.
You can't be sensitive to constructive criticism.
Right.
Let it construct. Let it construct you. Let it build you up. Okay, this is a person saying, I'm interested in what you're doing. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking to you.
Right.
But I don't like the venue you put the art in. If you move the venue, I'm interested. I move the venue. Let him know, hey, by the way, thank you for telling me you inspired this. I also did stickers and others. Then he's like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm down with that. Sign up. And when he got it, I said, hey, man, scan the who's it's and let it. He's like, oh, shit, this is. So wow, someone like that, yo, listen, if you're a certain type of good looking, you can get a girl's phone number. Not the bad bitch, though. You know, when you get her number, not her IG, not her Snap, her fucking phone number. And she's like, call me tonight. That's a better feeling than, you know, like a 4 saying, hey, you. So when someone says, I'm not interested in this, why don't you blah, 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 blah. And then you not only meet, but exceed their expectations, you're living. I get a rush from that.
Amazing. It's inspiring, man. I'm looking at the AR on your box as well right now, on the video that you had on Scarcity. Sorry. It was very impressive, man. So that's really cool. Shout out to Ebro helping you put that together too. It's amazing. The box is really next level phygital item. You have any thoughts on this phygital concept, which you're very much embracing with, you know, having the vinyl available, having, you know, stickers, merch, all kinds of cool other stuff, and now you've got the AR, which is very digital but attached to the physical, and of course the actual original NFT of the Dust album that is very purely digital on the blockchain. How are you feeling about kind of the phygital conversation and this evolution of kind of, do you think this is going to become more commonplace a year, 5 years from now? Are we seeing more of this kind of Web3 integration? There's some rumors that Eminem might be having some kind of crypto integration in his next album. I know Snoop's kind of talked about it, but hasn't done much. I think mostly guided by his son, who's into crypto. But just curious on like how you think the phygital conversation is moving, specifically in Web3 or in music. I mean,
see the thing with phygital, it's like drink but don't get drunk. So I like the idea of phygital. I like stuff. Anything that I can do is fun and makes this a fun trip. But what happens is token sales aren't going the way you want them to, but phygital seems warm. So you start, oh yeah, man. So now you're just selling stuff. You're a crypto artist. You got to sell the tokens. The tokens have to be primary, and you have to continue to innovate to be new and creative with the tokens. And I had to stop myself. token sales are slow for me too sometimes. And the vinyl was scorching, bro. And I'm like, oh, I gotta stop. I gotta stop. And people are still Kane gonna get the vinyl, and I gotta go, no. Gotta burn the token. You gotta burn the token. You gotta burn the token. You gotta burn the token. And I don't do all that crypto shit. Okay. You want to do it the old way? Here's what I'll do. I'll burn one for you. But you have to pay the cost of a token. But because it has to be fair. So I have to burn 3 or 4 tokens already doing it that way, because there's people who have paid, civilians who I don't want to onboard for the purpose of a transaction, but they do want the vinyl record.
Right.
Friends of mine, people who I know won't venture into the space, and I tell them not to. And I go,
why are you telling them not to?
Because they're going to get robbed.
Oh, shit. Okay. Come on, man. We're trying to fight the fun here.
It's not fun. It's fact. They're going to get fucking robbed.
All right.
It's the Bronx.
Okay.
This is the Bronx.
I mean, you got to help them their way through the Bronx, You just got to, help them.
This is a choose your own adventure book, and I don't have the bandwidth for 500 people hanging off of me needing direction every 10 minutes.
Fair enough. So
since I don't have the capacity to take them on, and I know them personally, they're not the kind of people who do self-learning. All I can really do is go, look, this is the space. Here's how it works. You will probably be fooled by someone here. You won't, David, because you know what bullshit sounds like. I won't, because I know what bullshit sounds like, and I got a reputation for sniffing it out in front of people. So them niggas stay away from me largely. Because it's like, oh no, don't bring it to Kane, because I'll start asking questions like, what does it do? How does it work? How do you get
Why
paid?
should we buy this from you?
Why should we give you money? Yeah, right. I start poking and tearing at the label, seeing what's behind it, seeing if you redated this milk. I got questions. This is your grocery store after all. You want me to be a shopper here? Let me look around a little bit.
Right.
Let's see if you fucking did weird shit with the meat. Yeah, but you're back there painting it. Why is it so pink? So, I would tell them that, hey, listen, someone who's a looky lure, who believes in the bigger, better deal, who thinks good things should happen to them, is a pre-rug. Someone's going to be in their DM promising them whatever, and they're going to click the link, aren't they?
It's possible.
Is it probable?
It could be probable. Yeah.
Are the scams today more advanced or less advanced than when you first started?
They've only gotten more advanced, and the AI is not helping,
So if you entered the space today as opposed to when you entered it, do you think you'd have an easier or a harder time?
It would be harder, yeah. And that's probably only going to continue to exponentially get harder as time.
And the only thing stopping that from happening to you is my ability to pay attention. I can show you report cards that show I've been bad at paying attention for a very long time. Second grade.
Fair enough.
He's often preoccupied with his own thoughts, and in class discussion will respond in accordance to those thoughts. Nigga, they were talking about math, and I just be like, the Diplodocus is actually one of the taller dinosaurs. I'll just say that, because that's what I'm thinking. I want to share. Nigga, I'm telling you, they should not be left with me as the only barrier between them and getting robbed.
All right. I feel you.
But it doesn't make sense for the only thing in your wallet that you value to be something of mine, and we're friends, and you feel like you let me down by getting it stolen, and you don't want to come to me and tell me that they stole my thing from you because you're embarrassed. So you double and triple down on the shame, guilt, and now you're in a spiral, and I've seen this, and now you're spiraling, listening to the wrong people, and you're going to make another mistake and get your crypto cleaned out, or your wallet drained permanently, or some other terrible things going to befall you, or get yourself, hacked on your computer. They get your bank records, and all kinds of shit happens when people are just not in a good spot emotionally here. So to avoid that, yes, I will let one of my friends give me money. I will burn the token on their behalf and just mail them the vinyl record.
Yeah. That's taking on initiative. That's less work than hand-holding them through the whole Web3 space, for sure.
The people who are here don't see it that way.
Right.
And it's, well, how do I know that person exists? You don't know. Well, that's the thing. I don't know.
There should be a record. Yeah. Why don't I see their wallet?
Fuck your record. How about this? How about it's my project and I can burn 50 of them right now if I want to, for no reason. I can just do it because it's Thursday.
Yeah.
And I do sometimes. You've seen me do it.
Yeah, you just want to increase the rare, decrease the amount that's available. That's
no, I'm just feeling destructive.
Yeah.
I've learned to channel my self-saboteur energy into inventory reduction. When I feel like saying crazy things or burning down my bridges, I just burn down some of my pieces instead. And it makes me feel good. I feel good. I'm gonna burn something right now. Actually.
I like that. No, I dig it. I've seen other artists as a collector in the space. I definitely see artists do that for a variety of reasons. And I always think it's kind of cool, especially if I already collected some of them and now they're burning them. I'm like, okay, cool. Too bad for anyone who missed the boat on that. But I just want to thank you for your time. I know we've gone over the 90 minutes here. If anyone from the chat has any questions at all, now's your time as we kind of wind down here. I got a couple more questions I want to get in before we wrap it up. I am curious specifically on the memes, right, and the culture, and specifically Pepe, as you've got a little bit of Pepe on your own project. I've seen it in some of your other art drops. I've got Pepe Nardo on the screen right now that is sold for 55 million satoshis, which is about $31,000 just recently, apparently. And Pepe Nardo's one of those big ones selling actual physical art pieces that they digitize and scan and put on the blockchain, but also it seems do actually send the physical to the collector as well. But Pepe Nardo is an extreme example, but there's a lot of value in the Pepe culture and a lot of artists that have been able to do their own renditions of Pepe. I think Beeple now just announced some big event he's doing where he's going to be highlighting a bunch of random Pepe artists. But what's your thoughts on Pepe specifically, and really just the meme culture in crypto, where it's going, why it's important? Just really curious about your thoughts on it.
I would say there's Pepe, and then there's meme culture somewhere down here.
Okay, I like it.
And people will say, "Oh, Pepe is meme culture." Nah, it's its own thing. And I make a distinction between, especially rare Pepe, rare Pepes, fake rares, counterparty culture, Bitcoin Pepe, and even the other like Ethereum Pepe token. Those guys are real, and very few people say it this bluntly, but they're real, and a lot of other people are just posing in order to attain some money. You're talking about a group of people who did this for free, would continue doing this for free. It's fun to say it, but prove it. Well, they were just trading memes on fucking eBay, and eBay was like, "You guys can't use our site to send like pieces of paper with frogs on to each other." So they used the blockchain, thus really creating the NFT market a little bit as we know it, and also starting the culture of collections. And people can argue, but it's pretty fucking irrefutable. And the rare Pepes spawned a lot of other, the tree gets branchy, especially if you go to pepe.wtf, you can see all of it. People like Pepe Nardo were onboarded like I was, but I came from rap. He came from oil painting. I admire him a lot because he didn't do all the fucking around that I did. He didn't do all the shucking and jiving and running rooms and he confirming none of that. He's like, "All right, man, this is what it is. Okay." And he dialed it in and fucking lasered in and made the fucking art and did the work. And he deserves it. And he's a great example of it is possible. You look at someone like him, and he's not an unsuccessful person, obviously, but he's also not doing sorcery. And believe me, it's not just paintings. His tokens sell. His tokens are dope. He makes amazing shit. He makes real pieces that I want to own. I remember he traded with me. I was so fucking happy. Like, I was over the moon. Like, because I really wanted to own some of his work. And that was like a big fucking deal, bro. Like, he's really makes incredible things. So you got a guy who's living the lifestyle. Then on the other side of the coin, you got the meme. The meme itself of Pepe, I think that the meme of Pepe, the counterparty Pepe, represents something a little bit more real in my world than the meme of Get Money Pepe. Get Money Pepe seems hollow and shallow and frankly fucking meaningless. The meaning of counterparty Pepe, to me, is the meaning of community in a real way, of anons, real anons, people who don't dox each other, people who don't know each other's real name, people who operate like me and my friends did back in '98. I don't know Science or Born or Free and none of them niggas' real name. I don't know their name. Your name is Science. Like, his name is Science, and his name was always going to be Science. At his funeral, I'll be like, yo, rest in peace to my man Science. And his mother, my son, right in front. I'm like, his name is what? I don't fucking know that. I don't know. By the way, Caribbean people are known for that. You don't know the nigga's real name till they die or they're in the hospital or something. So I think that energy, like Subterranean, I don't know his fucking name. I don't want to know his name. His name is Subterranean. And I met him, and he gave me these books, and we traded for stuff, and it was fucking great. Like, he's a wonderful guy. The people that the memes, I'm not anti-shitcoining. I'm not anti-memes. I'm not anti any of that shit, right? And I think that the last bull run is because of shitcoins. Because of shitcoin in 2019, that's where you got all those crypto fucking millionaires who were buying your art for $505,000. It wasn't coming from art lovers. It was coming from crypto Chad bros who were just crypto rich and got nothing else to spend it on. And I think somewhere along the line, artists lost the plot and started thinking that they were transcending effervescence that was moving the fucking chains. It wasn't. Niggas just had more money. Everyone was fucking teenage Saudi in the Versace store. So yeah, your belts were flying off the shelves. It wasn't because they were the best belts. It was because they were there and they were prominent. That's all it was. So this is that reload period where you hope that they will once again spend money like a teenage Saudi in the Versace store after they hit a few good licks in the crypto shitcoining.
Oh, there should be some new crypto rich folks now, right? With all the new shit coins that come out.
But they're not, because this time a lot of people have the memory and the wallet full of failed get rich quick schemes. They weren't donating money to you for your stupid fucking picture.
Right.
They were trying to make more money, or at the very minimum, park their untaxed money into a vehicle that they could hide it from the federales.
That they could actually get the money back out at the same value or better. But
you're a liquid. Your art's a liquid because there's no demand for it because you didn't do any of the other innovation. You didn't do the work. So now the image is shifting to artists that look like they're going to be here, right? Look like they're actually doing something to protect their fucking floor. And even though my floor isn't great, I do my best not to devalue it.
I dig it.
So, you know.
And when you think about that devaluing the floor, and to your point, you know, maybe it shouldn't be the main focus, but it is important. How do you kind of navigate that conversation? Because I feel like in Web3, especially, you know, 2-3 years back, there was a lot more of this kind of bullshit, but a lot of like, you know, if you're not managing your floor, if you're not managing your demand, then you're rug pulling me, essentially, which I do not agree with at all. But how do you manage that kind of floor conversation?
I do.
Yeah, you okay.
What are they buying then?
Well, I feel like there's an art case to be made that you're buying the art to support the artist, period, and that you don't have any future expectations on, you know, what that value of the art is going to be a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now. I mean, there's the argument to be made that you buy the art just to support the artist and nothing else. And there are a few pieces I have where I can say I've done that, and there are others where I can say I do hope that it goes up in value, and that maybe, especially the PFPs that I bought back in 2021 that I only bought because I was hoping they went up in value. There are a couple of those, but not too many. But yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting question, I feel like.
If we do not respect the collector, then we do not get to keep him.
Yeah.
They are not art lovers. These aren't people who wear berets and say that your digital fucking cat nuts or whatever you made are robust, or words one would describe in a tomato sauce commercial. They're not those kind of people. These are degenerate gamblers who speculatively bet on cryptocurrency. You think they're also lovers of the art? Like they're not usually, but
usually, yeah.
They flex on other crypto rich bros with crypto assets, and those crypto assets have a demand, and those demands are through certain artists. And again, this is no different than the art world. If you look at a Rembrandt looks complicated. I can't do that with paint. Can you?
Nope.
You look at a Basquiat, fucking third grader could do that. Arguably,
yeah.
Why is a Basquiat 44 million and a Rembrandt's only 16? Someone said so.
Perceived value, yeah.
And someone else agreed with them. And if you want to live your life based on a transactional nature of your customer, because that's what you guys are describing. You're describing customers, which is fine. Mm-hmm. Live your life in crypto looking for customers. I promise you there's way fewer of them than collectors. Even though collectors are harder fought, harder to win, they're more valuable when you win them. But it's a different relationship. Someone who pays $200-$300 for a music NFT rap album, blah, 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 whatever horse shit I'm making over here, they're a little bit more important than someone who streamed my music or bought a CD. So they have a certain level of entitlement to future efforts from me, because they're buying something that's a little bit more prestigious, right? And they would thus expect me to at least do a few things to not turn that into them throwing money down a wishing well.
I dig it.
Otherwise, why should they buy it? And again, this goes back into value. The mentality, and this is not to what you said, but I know you're asking the tough questions. The mentality that asks that question sells shit for $3. Right. And that's why I have to shoot at it, because it can't land on my planet. My mindset is a very fragile thing, to where even though I feel made of metal, I don't argue with my girl in the morning because it fucks my day up.
Right.
I can't let
don't need
poison,
that energy.
Well, floor price shouldn't matter. What should matter is supporting me. Hey, yo, man, play with your butthole on OnlyFans if you want people to support you. Kids and titties are the only things that require support. Everything else is a quid pro quo transaction. Provide the quid, receive the pro quo. Where is your value proposition? Supporting me? That's charity.
And to your point, yeah, exactly. It's not charity necessarily. And there's different people have their different angles, I think. But to your point about the value, right, and feeling that people that are fully invested and spending a little bit more money on your creations, which are not just the music, not just the art, but like you said, those 4 things packaged together into a bigger 5 things that's bigger than the sum of its parts, and really has limitless potential as to where you go with it. Yeah, I can see how wanting to kind of nurture that and actually grow it in a very intentional way is, valuable. And definitely to your point about a collector versus maybe a fan or a supporter, those are different things. And I haven't really thought of it that way, but they are definitely different things. And I can see some cases where I've been just like a fan and wanting to support that person, so I bought it. And then other cases where I am more of a collector and an art, kind of trying to be more of an art collector and thinking about the future value of that piece that I bought. But I do think it's kind of a mixed bag for me, but I can see how, to your point, most people are in that collector space when looking at Web3 especially.
Well, my world isn't peaches and cream. But I'll tell you this, them charity niggas, They need way more Narcan than people like me. I wake up knowing that perseverance and fortitude will get me through the day. They wake up living off the largesse of others. There's a Nas verse on that Kanye song, Still Dreaming.
Classic.
How you a man waiting for the next man to get rich? Your plan is to stick out your hand real quick? So if he feeds your family and he serves you shit, then any of the head you get, and he deserve your bitch. Like, you wishing cash fall from the sky all your life, dwelling on the past when you was all right. When you was getting cash but wasn't too bright. Now you're let down, you feel like busting them shells, nobody owe you, can't do nothing for self. Want niggas to show you how to come up with green schemes since I'm 14. What the fuck was your dream?
Damn.
That,
classic tune right there.
It's applicable.
I love it.
It's applicable.
100%.
So we're out here living in this go-get-it economy, and they're saying that people owe them something, and I go, nah, B, nobody owe you shit. And while you're simultaneously saying people owe you, you're also casting rocks at the shit that they buy. These fucking guys are out here buying those bullshit, dickle butts, cat anuses. Fuck is that? I mean, the real art, when they say the real art, they mean them. They mean what they're making. Yeah. What they're making is the real. Yeah. The real art needs you to be buying that. Yo, man, you're not going to tell a better story than the Bible. So, sorry. Like, it don't work that way. I know the sci-fi book you wrote, you think it's the tops and it's the hot shit of the night, but these niggas, there's an old Doug Stanhope joke where he's like, you stand over here, you tell them about the spirit of Christ and how it's moved you and changed your life. I'm going to stand on here and tell the story about how I kick-fucked a hooker in Montreal because I was high on coke and my dick wouldn't work. Jesus. And we're gonna see who draws a bigger crowd. And it's like, and it's like, 1 second, Father. Wait, hold on. So how did it bullshit into it? And it's that's the people thing. You can't get mad where the people go, and that's why I say stop worrying about the people. Focus on your people, your tribe, and finding them. There are people in this ecosystem who would be absolutely enamored by the things you do. Yeah. Who are you to deprive them? Go find them. Now, they're not all on one chain. They're definitely not in one fucking marketplace. They're not all standing together, holding hands, waiting for you, the Messiah, to show up. They are everywhere scattered, standing, usually as individuals, sometimes even a part of other things that you don't like or that you don't do or aren't about. So you have to go find them.
But what would be your go-to advice for finding those folks? I mean, obviously Twitter historically has been a little bit most of the more popular space. Those spaces are still pretty popular, not as much as they used to be, but still get fairly populated. What would be your advice for those who are, just starting or just really resonating with everything you're saying during this amazing episode and dropping gems, but have not started at all? What would be your advice to them? Where do they get started?
Crypto Twitter is like tourist Manhattan. It's a lot of stores and not a lot of houses. So, you go there, but you don't live there. So you need to start with a special interest group, crypto, whatever. This is the Internet of Things at this point. So you can find a crypto version of whatever your special interest is and go there. If you're super duper into sports, there's crypto sports betting. Go there. Make friends. Be in the Discord. Be in the Telegram. Your love and zeal for the topic will bring people to you because you are projecting your authentic lighthouse frequency. I am super into nerd shit and sci-fi. So I once wandered into a room where Low Sleazy was talking to some other nerd niggas about dragons, whatever the fuck he was doing. This nigga wanted to have potions. It was mad crazy. By the way, I will never let him live that shit down because this nigga he makes pimp pop.
We were dreaming, He's trying to create some dope stories.
He's a crude Miami Haitian pimp nigga. Yeah. That is the last nigga you expect to talk about dragons and wizards with. And he was super fucking into it. Yeah. He said, well, no, my nigga, you need to have the ice dragon. He's like the ice. No, the way I envision an ice dragon is not that it's made of ice. It's that it emerges from an ice cavern or some shit he said. And I was dying. I was dying laughing.
Those are the days, man.
But remember, he had a cult following. because he connected with people in the language of his genuine interests. I love Stargate. I think it's the best show that was ever on TV. I have a necklace that's the chevrons and the DHs, some mad crazy shit. Wow. So when I go, yo, I'm talking some Stargate shit, or I'm talking sci-fi, or I'm in AI, like I'm in a lot of the AI rooms, and I'm doing that, but it's crypto people that have a special interest. Over there, I'm probably the only rapper in the space they know. So when it's like, yeah, music NFTs, well, my buddy Kane does music NFTs. And you go, oh, you know Kane, how do you know? Well, I know Kane from AI. Or I know Kane from the Stargate room. So I know Kane from there because I'm over in my genuine interests. And while you're expressing your thoughts, eventually someone's going to say, hey, Dave, what do you do? Oh, I do blah, 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 blah. Really? Now you're talking to people who already like you, who already have crypto, who already understand safety, security, digital hygiene, all the other stuff, and they may like the kind of things you make. And they already have things in common with you. People buy things from people they like. You don't have to shuck and jive and shimmy sham and do all this fucking cyber voodoo and sorcery and lie to niggas and overpromise and underdeliver. You don't have to do any of that Web2 shit. No. All you have to do is understand that this is a big town, right? That's cut into different parts. It's separated by blockchain, marketplace, and social media implementation. And you can... What is she sending me? Where is she going?
What's that?
Hey!
Family emergency. Pause.
No. I think that she was just sending me a video of when they were in the car. She's just sending me a video from the car, and I'm like, nigga, you was just here. Trying to say you kidnapped my baby, but no, it's the chop from the back seat, so she's not driving from the back seat unless she's Shaq. But yeah, you find your tribe, and in that, I think that would beguile all the other shit. But that's why I think that it's a little bit more important to go out finding those people than it is to expect the market to provide for you. There is no the market. People buy from people they like.
So put that time in and become known, be genuine. That'd be the biggest advice, right?
Because it doesn't matter what you make. Yo, I'm not the most famous Kane in crypto art.
Okay.
Matt Kane is.
All right.
Matt Kane is way bigger than me. And he should be. He's done more than I have. And I said to myself back in 2021, I want to work so hard that when people say, yeah, I just got this new Kane piece, I want someone to question which Kane.
Nice. There you go. That's a goal.
It's not like a competition between me and Matt Kane. I just want someone to have to ask for clarification. You
just want to be in that conversation. I hear you.
I just want to be in the mix, yo.
Yeah.
Because that means I'm doing this right. Yo, this Kane joint, yeah, it's fucking great. Kane Mayfield? No, Matt Kane. Okay. Yeah, I thought you. And what's even better for me if someone goes, who's Kane Mayfield? Nah, I met another one. It's good. It's now you're spreading that way.
Yeah.
But you don't have to do any of the cyber voodoo, I think.
I dig it. I know we're gonna wrap up soon. I do have to ask. We had Joe Mangrum on the last episode, and he said I got to ask you about Wag Me Kane. What's the story behind Wag Me Kane?
So, I got a little, in the words of Cameron, I got 800 invisible men, which means sometimes you could be talking to somebody that you think also doesn't like me, but they do like me.
Gotcha.
And you may have seen us go back and forth in a space, but me and that person genuinely like each other. I just fuck with my friends. Like if you see the way I talk to Jagar sometimes,
you
wouldn't think that we're friends.
Yeah.
But we are. I love that little nigga.
Yeah.
But they'll look and people listen and they'll, they're not kosher. So they'll think they have an ally in the fuck Kane brigade. And I saw some of the DMs, and I was honestly a little hurt because I'm sensitive. I get a little hurt of the way people spoke about me, and I was like, nigga, I was just trying to help. I thought I was helping. Apparently, I wasn't helping. So okay, you don't want the truth. So I'll give you what you want. So Wag Me Kane was me essentially putting on a very positive sales voice, like a cheesy sales guy voice. And then everything people said, I just spun into the most positive, sugar-soaked saccharin of speech.
You know, I walked in on one or two of those rooms, I think.
Ask me a question about something that I would know, like something AI, whatever it is. Ask me anything.
Why should I mint my music on sound.xyz?
You know, I'll tell you something that's actually such a great question. And I think that what it really does is it displays the tapestry of rich ideas that we have in here. So I want to say just thank you to you, first of all. And of course, any decision you make, I'm sure is going to work out great for you. That's really great. Great space, everybody.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. To a person who doesn't know me, they would leave that interaction feeling good, wouldn't they?
Yeah. They'd be like, oh, what a nice guy.
Let me ask you a question, though. Did I answer your question?
Not at all.
So what I essentially did was the information that I have, I tucked it to myself. I fed you some bullshit, and then I glamored you like True Blood to make you go away smiling.
The True
So
Blood
you have
reference.
a positive image of me. I ain't teach you nothing. And I gave you the mushroom treatment. I kept you in the dark and I fed you bullshit. So who's truly crueler? The person that does that to you or the person that talks how I normally talk?
You gotta spit those facts. Be genuine.
I don't have
I respect
to.
it. No, you
don't.
don't.
I don't have to. And what I've been doing recently is I stopped.
You play Wag Me Kane.
Nah, I'll just be quiet. I'll deploy Wag Me Kane as a weapon every now and again just to piss somebody off.
And to entertain those of us who know you better than that.
And to make my friends laugh.
Yeah.
But I'll pull back from it because it was costing me reputation unnecessarily. I get to wear the badge of being some sort of angry guy, and I'm really happy. I'm happy all the time. I wish that you guys didn't litter. I wish that you love the forest as much as I do, and I wish you wouldn't invite logging companies here for whatever stupid shit you've knocked around inside your dumb nugget to think is going to happen because you're a delusional person who doesn't have to live with accountability because life has protected you from how stupid you are. I wish that wasn't the case, but because I can't fix you, what I'm going to do is just stay to myself in my little cauldron with my friends, do my best to honor the covenant with my collectors, and let whatever happens to y'all niggas happen to you. And what I've realized is that the OGs aren't the OGs because they're OGs. They're not different kind of humans than me. They've seen more than I have. They're the way they are for a reason. There's a reason they started out how I was, but ended up how they are. And I'm going through the chrysalis now. Yeah. Black sunglasses like fucking Robinus. There's a reason I'm changing. Yo, I'm changing. And I'm not saying, oh, they broke me. Nah. Some of y'all ain't worth saving.
Yeah, and you're evolving, and spending your time on more worthy endeavors, maybe.
I won't let you drown me to save you.
Right.
I won't let people in the water sink my boat.
Yeah.
I will hit you in the face with my oar before I let you sink my boat.
Pushing you off the boat. Get out of here.
Clamoring, not because you were never on the boat.
Yeah.
I was just paddling past you.
Yeah.
But I won't let your flailing. Yo, a drowning man will knock you the fuck out.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful how you try to lifeguard. And truthfully, my factory settings is New York nigga. My factory settings is it's none of my business. My factory settings is, yo, that dude on the train just started jerking off in front of everybody. That lady doesn't know that he's jerking off next to her.
Oh God.
Let me go to the next train car. It's kind of
let me get out of here.
Let me get out of here. It's not my business. I don't know if they know each other, bro. This could be some weird liberal arts thing. I don't know. It's not my business. I ain't a superhero. What I look like. So that's my factory setting. My factory setting isn't, what are they doing? That's antithetical to the ethos. Avengers, assemble, vigilantes. Let's go do some good. That's not my fucking factory setting. My factory setting is to mind my business. So the fact that niggas think I'm a dick because I tried to help you with shit that's only going to affect you anyway, fuck you. Man, I was like, I think sounds great. You all should use it. You should use it. Well, let me ask you a question. Do you know how to make a blockchain or a wallet? No? All right then. Well, there you go. They got it all figured out for you. And someone goes, wait. He doesn't think that. He doesn't think that. Why are you saying that? No, you've won me over. I don't know what you're doing, but you're doing something. No. You're not going to use me as the conscience of your Twitter space while you sell shit coins and dump on people's head and scrounge and act scraven for money while I get to be your conscience de facto. Fuck you. Rug them niggas.
Yeah, it's
I
crazy.
don't care. They're not my friends.
Those rugging rooms are always the most popular. It's like people really love that shit. But
not no more.
Yeah, that's true. They
not no more. Now don't get me wrong. There's big influencer rooms, because if you get a couple of 50,000, 70,000, 80,000 follower accounts in one place, you're going to have people there. That's just math.
Right.
That doesn't mean they're popular. That means they're prominent.
Right.
A lot of people see that room is open.
Yeah.
However, quality over quantity. That's what makes here good. The biggest accounts are not the most followers. J-Dog ran fucking Counterparty. I'm going to say by himself, but for the most part by himself for a while. The nigga had 1,700 followers. He ran the oldest blockchain where the Nakamoto card lives.
Wow.
1,700 followers. Followers don't matter. The best dev, how many followers do they have?
Yeah, like under 1,000.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Because followers are stupid. It's a vainglorious metric of idiots who think social media is something that it's not. This is not a digital calculation of your self-worth. And if you get your self-worth from how many fake people that follow you inside a device that you have in your pocket, well, then you're stupid and your parents in public school failed you. Fix yourself.
Fair enough.
You don't need therapy. You need friends.
Yeah. Well, I think you dropped a lot of gems here, Kane. I want to play Clear as we ride out, and then might have one wrap-up question for you, but you don't mind me playing this track for the people?
Go right ahead.
All right.
Play whatever you want, man. Do whatever makes you happy.
Let's go. It's been resonating with this track. I like it.
Before I let you go, one question. There is a report that at a business meeting once, you pulled out a knife.
I sure damn did.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Why?
Because...
Bitcoin.
Oh, dear. Because there was a record company.
I'm not going to hear
You were
it.
about to say something.
I can't say.
Sorry.
I was the record company that sold my albums and didn't pay me. And I said, where's my money? They said, we're not going to give you any money. I said, oh, yes, you are. And I got a gun. It was a gun. It wasn't a knife. And I followed him to a restaurant, and I tried to kill him.
This my booze, my perks, my Cardi, my AK, my turf, my posse. My baby never hurt nobody. Still got smoke at baby party. Still got jokes. I maintain calm. My God be in the middle of a man and a monster. Jekyll in the high with the heckle in the ride. When you make a little shine, doing good for a darky. Getting ass, you an ass or a donkey. Everybody gorillas and wolves and dogs. The wool be off. My eyes the signs of menagerie. Oh, come on. We ain't animals, we ain't your entertainment. These ain't cameras, little windows to an invisible zoo. They fill us with Ritalin and put the Riddle in a queue. Ball, knocking colors all down in the two. You pay them to get them out and put them back where they shoot. Eights are great, you break displace middle. Passage past the master, platinum ain't vittles. Casual batted has the knack to train killers. Give them chicken noodle soup with the soda and the Skittles. Twizzlers makes mouth happy, need to smile, don't know yo pappy. Me so Obama, fuck yo cabbage. We be getting money, eating gummy, keep it nappy. Funky. Gladly, chunky, monkey on my back screen, put him on the ground with a pound, you a savage. Hard to see a queen when you're looking for a bad bitch.
You simple-minded ass bitches that thought you was cute.
Talk to get dough, then show love. Love's in a disco, sniff those drugs. Drugs in a zip code, don't grow none. None of us got a diplo. Oh my, hustle, living on the run. Why we always move fast? What the masters want. Watch Fox News, put a mask on us. We crazy, brazen animals. That man on dust, shoot him. Noodles so they won't grow sons. Gucci full of no drugs. Liquor store, gun store. What? Party over here, it ain't hard for you to see, but it's hard for you to hear. I don't give a fuck long as y'all be aware. And with this, my conscience clear. Facts.
Amazing. Let's go. That was Clear by Kane Mayfield. What's up?
Can I make a request?
Sure.
Is that the one with both? Or is that
It's the one on the website? Just clear.
All right, so if you go to your DM,
seconds. Okay.
If you go to your DM, right, I DM'd you the album.
Cool.
The album.
Album. All right. We're on it.
You see where it says Dust?
I'm not seeing the full breakdown of. Yeah, I see where it says Dust. Yeah, and Electrum.
Click on that. Yeah.
So it says Electrum and Dust. What's the difference?
Yeah. Go to Electrum. Electrum is the other version of the album, the alternate version with 2 extra songs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, this was released as a sub asset to the people who have Dust. Now they have both albums.
Sick. And this is can just be played right over URL. You can play this on pretty much anything.
If you play that in your car, depending on how fancy your car is, when you change songs, the picture changes on your dashboard.
Let's go.
Yeah, Rad's a genius.
That's amazing.
I would like you to play the intro.
Intro?
All right. That's okay.
Go. Yeah, for sure. Get this volume up a little bit.
Bitcoin audio.
I see you look at this bass.
Yeah, I was wondering how much something like this went for.
6.15 Bitcoin.
Get the fuck out of here!
No, I cannot. It's serious because it's very important bass.
Have you ever sold one of these?
Sold it yesterday to a collector.
Get the fuck out of here!
Somebody else has said it myself.
Ongo Goblogian, the art collector. Charmed, I'm sure.
Get the fuck out of here.
That was the last beat my producer sent me before he passed.
Oh, sorry.
So I took it as a way to send tribute to him by using it for the intro for Electrum that he produced. Remember, Electrum Dust was recorded in 4 months in 2016.
Wow.
All the records, even the ones you haven't heard. Remember, there's extra records that aren't on the album.
Wow.
There's like 20-something songs that we shaved down to 10.
Dang.
Even with the 15 or so between the unlockables and AR stuff, there's still other records y'all have never heard before from that period.
Are you planning to drop those in the future, or what's?
Nah, some of them aren't that great.
Okay.
But the point is, the original version of all those songs is Electrum. The Bitcoin world knows how to extract dust, so I get to be a thing of value again. That's the whole point of the album, is that in the Web 2 world, I'm dust. I'm an unextractable thing that has to wait until my value goes up. But the Bitcoin world knows how to extract dust by using a tool called Electrum. Electrum is an OG Bitcoin app that will get all the dust out of however many wallets all at once in one transaction.
Wow.
That's why it's tongue in cheek for the Bitcoin community, because in a way they extracted me. So it's my way of paying it back to them.
I love it, man. Congratulations, man. It's really the philosophical side of it, the deeper meaning behind it, and the fact that you took something you made, however many years ago, and kind of reimagined it, added some Bitcoin audio. Shout out to Rad Audio, and this whole concept of infusing Bitcoin into your music is just amazing, innovative. And so basically all of the kind of crypto Bitcoin references throughout the album were just kind of added after, and your bars and they were actually part of the original as well back in 2016.
What did I say?
You did say you recorded it all back then.
No, but what did I say?
Where did I miss?
If you're horny and I make a song about loving sandwiches, you gonna think sandwiches is a metaphor for pussy.
Okay.
If you're crypto minded and I give you an album that's Bitcoin infused, you will probably find meaning where there was none. I don't reference Bitcoin on that album, not rapping, not once.
Right. Okay.
I don't reference cryptocurrency, decentralization, none of that, not once. I do, however, represent a rebel spirit.
Right.
And the rebel spirit rides in the same car with Bitcoin. This is the spirit of someone who looks at the moon and says, I could put my feet there. So it fits. The sound clips were added later, like the audio clips, and some of those, like Charlie Munger.
Right.
the artwork referencing Jamie Dimon. So you're looking, you hear Charlie Munger, no one needed a currency for thieves and kidnappers. Bitcoin is terrible. And then you see Jamie Dimon in a police outfit, but I'm just rapping.
Right.
It fuses it together, and I think that it's proof that you don't have to go overboard to make crypto. This is crypto music.
Yeah.
I'm a crypto musician. I make crypto music. I'm a Web3 artist. I'm not an artist who does Web3. I'm not a trapper, but I rap sometimes.
Right.
I'm a fucking rapper, nigga. I'm not a trapper. I'm not selling you crack, nigga. I'm selling you rap. So don't like that's some old Jeezy era rap shit where niggas do this. Man, I ain't no fucking rapper. I'm a trapper, and you just happen to see. Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
It's all marketing. I'm a Web3 crypto rapper. I just don't be spitting 19 bars straight about the Merkle root.
Yeah,
that's corny.
It can be a little corny for sure.
A little.
Yeah.
Fields in Iowa are less corny than some of the music that happens here.
It gets a little much. But shout out to Blockchain Jewelry, though. I see Jagar and the Metavoxels in the chat. You guys dropped that. Blockchain Jewelry was an example of a not corny crypto song that had a really cool kind of metaverse component to the video and all that.
Yeah, I said so. What was it? Back when I lived in Mexico, Alpha was my barber. That's true, by the way. I paid him extra, bought him gear to cut a nigga sharper. Ain't know it was my destiny. Now I got the Alpha for the recipe. It's Web3 and jewelry for the neighbors starting car clubs.
Web3.
This is cool. Yeah, that was just me fucking around.
I like that.
There's a cool way to do it that I think doesn't have to be whack, but ultimately, if the music is serious, that's where I'm the most serious.
Right.
And I got some. By the way, if you look at the artwork for Electrum and just stare at it.
I'm doing that right now. We got it up. It's beautiful.
You see it, right?
Yeah, it's
beautiful.
You see
it's crazy. There's some wild shit happening in there.
It's awesome. And honestly, the way you've incorporated AI and the animated AI and everything is just really fascinating. I will say you were one of the first, because when that first initial kind of AI generative art explosion kind of came out and everybody was a prompt engineer, quote unquote, and like AI art was everywhere, I was not a big fan of it. And you were one of the first to do it in a way that I was like, wow, that's like hella creative. It's very clear, being the visual component to your music and the way you kind of wrapped it all up and really kind of incorporated what you were talking about in the music, in your visual, was just amazing. So it was one of the first that really sold me on like, okay, I can see the value in this AI art thing and where it can be used as a good tool,
Well, thank you. I mean, I can't draw, so I use AI to make the pictures, but I also cut them up and make a whole thing out of it so that there's effort, because I think that things that are good should require effort should be applicable. But for this particular venture, the focus was less on the artwork and more on the music and the tech, though I believe that for anything to be truly successful, it has to have all. It has to have the music, it has to have the artwork, it has to have the tech, and it has to have the crypto. So like the headphones, which are around here somewhere. Yeah, these headphones.
Nice.
And they're not in here obviously, but they're empty. But these headphones have Bitcoin inside them.
Crazy.
The NFT is in the headphones. We're doing fun shit.
That's one day.
Well, yeah, one day people who don't know about what we've been doing this whole time will start figuring it out. Hopefully. And when that day comes, I hope to still be actively participating and be able to sit under some of the trees that we're planting.
Let's go.
But if it doesn't happen, I was right. And if it does happen, I will graciously accept defeat in a victory.
All right. So you're a win-win situation at this point. No huge expectations, but you're here for the Web3 and you're here for the technology and the crypto and the art and the music. It's amazing, man. So what do you got next around the corner before we wrap up here? Thank you to K-Bot, Metavoxels, Booman, everyone else who's followed and joined in the chat. Appreciate all y'all. But what's next for Kane? What are we looking forward to around the corner?
There's a couple things. The first thing is the Ides of March, which is me, Razkaz, fucking Homeboy Sandman, Money B from Digital Underground, Numbskull from the Loonies, and I don't care. Toshi Blakamoto rapping on this track. There's 8-9 different beats. It's like, think of async, but on Bitcoin.
Shoot, okay.
So there's 8 or 9 different beats. All the beats sync up. You're not going to get more than 3 verses.
And they're all in a long track, or these are cut up different tracks?
No. Even though we all rap, you're only going to get 3 of us. So you might get me, Sandman, Money B. Gotcha. You might get Razkaz, Numbskull, Batoshi. You might get.
I got you. That's really cool. I've never heard of anything like that.
And it might be on a Boom Man beat. It might be on a Skrilla beat. It might be on a Trash Lights beat. You don't know which beat you're going to get. So having differences, think of it like generative.
But is this where you've laid out the bars and they can go over the different beats, so it just becomes random and like, okay, wow, that's something. Ides of March, eh? Wow.
And the raps are, just to be very, 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 very honest, the raps are some of the most complicated, period. Like, because think of it like building in crypto voxels. I'm not an architect. There's no gravity.
Yeah.
So that wall doesn't have to actually be structurally sound. I could just make it look dope, right?
100%.
I'm building for breakdown because all the lyrics will be broken down. How the lyrics are in that player, the lyrics on the other side is this other concept that I've had since 21 called proof of work. Proof of work is when you can read a document essentially with the lyrics and everything that I meant, like Rap Genius.
Right.
So I break down all of the lyrics. You don't have to hunt for them and decode them. I will decode them for you.
Right in the description.
But since I'm decoding them for you, I can get real liberal with what I'm able to do. So I did, so good example. I did Euclidean geometry bars. And one of the beats is a Euclidean beat. But I said...
What is a Euclidean beat?
It's a timing thing for... it's mathematics.
Euclidean math and geometry. Theory, but I'm not familiar with
that. Well, it's the same. It's the same pattern. It goes by those numeric disciplines. So skipping through 16s, new serial, my killers be written in 6D. Euclidean, the Carbo Desert of Blue Phineas, your heart pump, custard, I bust them and shoot, idiom, really confused idiots, I stand on rock, chop Dutchies think they taking our place and spit the rain in the face like Sioux Indians. Where was I? These axioms that built all cities like it's the actual, the fifth lift niggas out on Playfair, the whole is greater after the have and the math in its backpackerish, some of the shit that Kane said, ridiculous. Now that seems just like regular raps, rapidy raps, in fact. However, when I say skipping through 16s, Euclidean number, new serial, my killers are written in 6D, a 6-dimensional shape is Euclidean geometry. Euclidean, the Carbo, if you Google Carbo Desert, the Carbo Desert is a Carbo Desert Eagle. It's a blue Desert Eagle with gold inlays. It looks like something a very Persian man would shoot at you with.
I don't know my guns that well. I'm Canadian, but I'm familiar with the Desert Eagle.
But if you Google the Carbo Desert, you'll see it.
Okay.
So I say the Carbo Desert of Blue Phineas. Phineas from Phineas and Ferb.
Gotcha.
What shape is Phineas's head?
I can't remember.
The triangle.
Okay. Triangle, right.
What shape is the barrel of a Desert Eagle? Triangle. So the Carbo Desert of Blue, and also triangle is geometry and Euclidean. The Carbo Desert of Blue Phineas, your heart pump custard. I bust them and shoot idiom, really confuse idiots. So the guy who killed Custer, General Custer, Sitting Bull and Crazy Horse.
Yeah.
The actual guy who killed him, his name was Rain in the Face. He was a war chief from the Sioux tribe of Indians.
Right.
And he killed him, and he said on his deathbed, he made a confession to the priest. He says, "By the way, I wrecked that Custer nigga. I know it was me because I shot him so close, the powder burned his face."
Oh gosh. Okay.
And they were like, "What?" So he died right there. He went, and they were like, "Yo, Rain in the Face, fucking crazy guy on his deathbed." He's like, "Yo, I killed Custer." He was telling everybody. We always do that. And they're like, what? Oh yeah, he definitely killed Custer. We figured you guys knew by now. You didn't know that he definitely killed him. We all know that. It's like common knowledge. So when I say your heart pump Custer, I bust him and shoot idiom, really confused idiots, I stand on rock. He died at Standing Rock Reservation. Chop Dutchies think they've taken our place and spit the rain in the face like Sioux Indians.
Boom.
Where was I? These axioms that built all cities like it's the actual. So Euclidean mathematics, the fifth postulate. First of all, the axioms of Euclidean mathematics and geometry are what they use to construct shit. It's what they use to build buildings and all that other shit. There's actually a group from the 90s called All City. Their biggest record was called The Actual. All City Crew. So when I say, where was I? These axioms that built all cities like it's the actual, the fifth lift niggas I don't play fair. Now we go into the fifth postulate of Euclidean. I know. This is the last one. You go into the fifth postulate of Euclidean mathematics. The first ones are easy, like, you know, a straight line that could, a 90-degree angle is the same on all sides, or the sides, or the sum of the whole is greater than the parts, shit like that. The fifth one is a long paragraph, and it doesn't really make sense until 17th century mathematician John Playfair simplified the fifth postulate to make it more understandable for regular people. So when I say the fifth lift niggas, I don't play fair. I'm not just saying I'm going to shoot you because I'm an unfair person. I'm also saying that I'm not going to dumb down my lyrics as John Playfair dumbed down the fifth postulate of Euclidean geometry.
That's some serious mathematical double and triple entendres there, and I appreciate the math lesson, Kane.
If I don't have to adhere to, let's be very clear. Everything I just now said is meaningless.
Just so the lyrical value.
The lyrical value is meaningless. A tree that falls in the woods with no one around to hear it is silent. Because no one cares if it makes a sound or not, because no one knew it fell. So it doesn't matter. It's the Schrodinger's cat theory. It doesn't make a sound. So a bar so complicated that you don't catch is not impressive. It will only be impressive to the 0.5% that actually click the proof of work button and read everything with the interest to be impressed by hidden shit. For that small group of people, they're gonna go, what the fuck is that? But for everybody else,
with that shit?
For everybody else, it's NyQuil.
Right.
And that's fine. I accept the fact that it's NyQuil. My point with doing that is to make a rap, make rhymes that simultaneously check all the boxes when you first hear them, but then fill them with all types of fake walls and hidden doors and staircases that lift up for those who like to dig for meaning. Remember, when you first heard it, you're nodding your head. It sounds good. It's rappity rap.
Yeah.
All the other shit that's in it is like, all right, dude, this is overkill. For a general listener, I do so much more than overkill. It's a turnoff.
Right.
But for the people who like digging, every shovel comes back with gold.
Now you're giving shovels in the description on the digital metadata, essentially.
And you don't even have to figure it out.
Right. It's all laid out.
All you have to do is read it if you're so inclined. So for those who are inclined, you don't have to figure anything. You can read along while you're listening, and you can pause to read further and catch the hidden meanings. For those who just want to hear it, you don't have to even click that tab. You can just hit play and listen to it. Also, there's a wonderful MIDI player version of this where you can actually play it out. It's fucking dope. Rads of G's. So we got that. And of course, I got the elements, and those will all be launched soon. And of course,
epic.
Bitcoin
so
Audio
is working on the production of this Ides of March piece as well, or?
Nah, but he's working on the tech side of it, and he's trying not to let me depress him with my terrible attitude.
Okay. Well, shout out to Money B. You know, Money B was one of the early ones. I was just amazed to be in the same room with him, frankly, in Clubhouse on a regular basis. And then I was able to get him in touch with MetaVoxels and a couple other guys there in the voxel space, and they helped him build out a spot in the metaverse. So yeah, it's amazing. Digital Underground, Money B, legends in the hip hop space. Just really cool to see someone like that really embracing Web3 and continuing with it. You know, he didn't just stay while it was hot. He's still, you know, pushing it forward and doing a lot. So really cool. And hopefully I'll be able to pick his brain one day. That would be amazing. Because I feel like he's got a cool Web3 story there as well.
Want me to call him?
Money B?
Yeah.
Yeah. We gotta make it happen. We gotta make it happen. Yeah.
Have him come do the thing. He just did a thing on Gala Music.
Yeah, well, that's another platform I didn't ask you about. Let's save that for next time. But yeah, I'm interested.
I don't care for it.
Yeah, it is what it is, right? I'm not a huge fan either, but yeah, okay. Kane, I could talk to you all day about Web3 and blockchain and Bitcoin, and we'll be hanging out on Spaces sometime soon, I'm sure. But I'm so grateful for this opportunity. I think you dropped a lot of gems for musicians looking to get into the space and looking to make a way in Web3 and blockchain, and really about standing on your own foundation and setting up your own kind of collector base, your own community, and not relying on platforms or any other middle people, because that's what Web3 is all about, right? Doing it for yourself and leaning on the community and reaching out to us, and appreciate your genuine offer to help anybody who needs help in the space. Any final words before we shut it down here?
You can do anything you put your mind to, as long as your mind isn't broken. So be careful what you put in your engine, because you can have a really good engine but use shitty oil and bad fuel and not be able to get to your destination. So mentally feed yourself the appropriate things. Try to stay inspired. That's advice that I'm giving more to myself than anyone else right now, but try to stay inspired, stay up. And as long as you're still punching, the fight's not over.
Let's go. Use good fuel. Keep your engine healthy. Coming through with another classic metaphor, classic analogy. Appreciate you, Kane. We'll be back in 2 weeks talking Web3 gaming. And until then, we'll catch you all in the metaverse. Peace out.